Winter is coming, and I hope it's coming fast. I'm kind of done with summer now.
I'm warm. I am so warm. It's the kind of weather over here. I delayed my shower up until as late as I could so that I would be cool and refreshed for the stream. I turned off the shower, I dried off, and I felt as sweaty and sticky as I did before I stepped in. And I know that's not possible. I know it's just...
It's very humid and blah.
Yes. Happy Friday, everybody! Last stream before vacation, woo!
But yes, it's a weekend, it's vacation.
We don't have more energy, so it's too warm for that.
It is definitely too warm.
Andrick, if by any chance you can still hear us, thank you very much for the resub. Love. That took a moment to like, the docking process was delayed.
There's a heat delay.
Hello Evie, congrats on being first and second. Hello Psycho, hello Dark Lord, hello everybody. Happy Friday, how are you all doing? Yes. Happy Dawn Trail release for the people that pre-ordered.
Oh wait, can you already play again?
If you pre-order, I believe, yes.
No, but is the game already, well... Then.
New Final Fantasy XIV expansion. My top priority was main story quest roulette. Yes. I take it is now playable. I started. See? Are you enjoying it so far? Or have you only done a roulette thingy to get some in-game currencies?
I thought it wasn't playable yet today. For some reason I thought it was Thursday and Friday.
I mean, it
like
is Friday.
Full days. Yeah, but like full days.
Currently buying up some non-binary Talmudic estuaries and snoots. What? Also, can I get banned for saying these words out loud? Because I don't know what I just said.
What is that in normal English?
But it's my total bro Digital Joshua's birthday. Had to call out the guy who made me think Dark Souls is cool. I do not know this person, but congratulations on our behalf. Please relay the message at your earliest convenience.
What he said. What's a snoot?
I don't know why, but somehow it has an energy to it that it's not a word that I want to Google.
It's something that sounds like I want to eat it, but also not. It's like mixed feelings.
It could be, just based on the sound, it could be a type of drug.
A snoot?
Yeah.
Nah, that doesn't sound cool.
You wanna hit some snoots, bruh?
Nah. No one would call their drug a snoot.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Then it could be a type of snot.
Yeah, that is the first thing that comes in mind.
Like snot that is really long, like a noodle, so it becomes a snood.
Oh,
One snoot, two
right.
snoods. I don't like that idea, no. I was also, because of the way I sounded it out, I was thinking something pornographic, because nudes, snoots.
Nah.
But
snot comes the closest.
I don't know. What are you telling us here, Dark Lord? Good, the ads finally ended. Welcome in.
Gotta have ads.
You confused us with all the words you're writing, and when they made snoots NB, they really knew.
Well, that doesn't
like
answer
your hair back in a sick wind tunnel.
That doesn't answer the question yet.
Okay, you win. I'm googling it.
Also, honestly, a slow start, lots of cutscenes, but are they good? And early access for pre-orders. But can... Okay, no, fair.
Wednesday and Thursday is where maintenance days. That's why it was offline for 2 days.
Yeah, but I thought for some reason it was Thursday, Friday, so I didn't even check today.
It's
funnily enough, yesterday we wanted to play, and even before we saw Psycho's message in Discord with the update screen. That it was like 3 hours, and we were like, oh yeah, there's an update coming because of that. And then we start the computers, we start the game, and we were like, what's this? Oh yeah.
Why is it downloading 6 trillion gigabytes of video game? Oh yeah, of course. I mean, we literally just watched. we just looked at the screenshot, like, yeah. And then we were done, and we're like, now we can play. Oh yeah, wait, maintenance.
For some reason, I didn't want to click.
It's the heat.
Yeah,
like our eyes perceive the information, but somewhere between here and here, like it gets stuck and it just goes. Also, I've looked it up now, and I'm sorry I was completely off. A snoot is a type of traditionally female headgear designed to hold the hair in a cloth or yarn bag. In the most common form, the headgear resembles a close-fitting hood worn over the back of the head. It's similar to a hairnet, but snoots typically have a looser fit, a much coarser mesh, and noticeably thicker yarn.
It looks like what the lunch lady always wears.
That's
like
a hairnet, but yes,
it's
like
basically a hairnet.
A hairnet done by a lazy person who didn't want to make the mesh very fine. Yeah, okay. I will attempt to retain this information. Can't promise it.
Snoot.
Cutscenes are reasonably interesting, but I want to get into combat stuff. Just played for like 4 hours and stopped for now. Okay, fair enough.
Fair.
4 hours and not really any combat stuff? That's a long cutscene.
Well, there's probably a lot of introducing the story, walking back and forth as they usually do. Getting all your main characters in, get some plot
setting
going.
The stage, where are we, why are we doing this?
Yeah, exactly.
It makes sense. 1.21 gigawatts! I could never as a kid get over him saying gigawatts as gigawatts, and to this day it messes with me. I mean, I understand that he didn't know that it's gigawatts, but still. Sometimes I say it on purpose, sometimes I just do it because, like, the movie memory part of my brain gets activated before the voice part of the sound part of my brain. You were saying?
I was gonna say, even if it has have a slow start, that doesn't mean anything, as we also have learned with like Higurashi and stuff.
Wait, you thought Higurashi had a slow start? I loved it from the first second.
I'm very happy for you, but yes, it was a super slow start.
Wait, now that sounds like I'm actually like I didn't enjoy it. Was it a slow start? I don't know. It was immediately world building. Well, after the very first scene, which is still confusing to me, but after that it was like, okay, main character is moving to the countryside, setting the stage.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's not slow.
Oh, you mean until something happened? That took like 5 chapters. Yeah. I mean, there were little hints and bits and pieces, but it didn't really like pick up until then. Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's okay, I understand the need to set things up. I'm looking forward to it, but I think it's still a long time until we're even there.
What is there?
At the Dawn Trail.
You think Higurashi is still gonna take a while until we're at Dawn Trail?
No, I swapped back already. I just gave Higurashi as an example for the slow start in Dawn Trail.
Oh, okay.
So we're still on that.
Thank you for taking me back along on your journey. Stop for about an hour for 2 main story quest roulettes. For some reason, like I understand that people use MSQ for main story quest, but it still seems foreign to me. I always want to see like Microsoft
MySQL.
MySQL, like something like that. So to look at revamped spells and stuff for some jobs. Oh, did they make some changes? Okay. That means I need to get used to them again.
If there's something they change, I really hope it's gonna be the whole gear system.
That's
on how to equip it, because that stuff is annoying as fuck.
You just want more armory slots.
Yeah. The armory slots is what annoys me the most in the game at the moment. And the way they do their banking system, but you know.
No, lol. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Like,
banking system also needs to change. Like with this, they can definitely learn from RuneScape.
No, Tifa, RuneScape can learn from other games.
No.
Or you could just accept there is one particular game that you enjoy the way it's done, and that's RuneScape, and everybody else is different. And you just have to accept that you are part of a niche, and that niche is being catered to by RuneScape.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the entire game. I mean, I'm playing Final Fantasy now instead of RuneScape, aren't I?
That is true. I haven't seen your RuneScape in a long time.
For the first time in like 8 years, I actually cancelled my subscription. Like running RuneScape and Final Fantasy at the same time is a bit too much.
I'm gonna call Tifa out. I'm gonna lean forward. Tifa did not close the blinds properly. The shutter.
Yeah.
Dum dum dum. There I'm being targeted from. Oh my god! I need to cover. Can you? I will live. It's fine. We will live. It just looks weird. I only noticed it now. Did a cloud move? The sun is a deadly laser, apparently.
Now you shine bright like a disco ball.
I'd rather not. Can you? Yeah, no, a cloud moved. Can you do that, please? Because
that was not there earlier, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I even did the wall check.
It is. You are so lazy. You're not getting up for that.
Well, I have an extremely loose pants, and I didn't want that.
Tifa butt cam.
I didn't want that to fall off on stream.
Thank you very much.
Like this is.
I'm always worried when she sits down that she breaks a cable. Anyway, where was I?
A couple sizes too big.
First of all, I looked into the sun with my left eye because I'm dumb. And now I see stars. Yes, I need to call Tifa out. I need to lean forward for that because...
Yeah, that's deserved.
That's when the fun things happen. Tifa says she doesn't have the mental capacity to play RuneScape and Final Fantasy XIV at the same time.
Not mental capacity.
She doesn't have the capacity.
When do I have the time?
But she definitely does have the time, because what she is doing while playing Final Fantasy XIV on one screen, on the other she has her current addiction shitty mobile game of the month running. Because for some reason that thing also has a PC version on the Epic Game Store. And that's why Tifa is the only person I know that regularly uses the Epic Game Store, other than to like play Fortnite and stuff. And she is playing two games at the same time. So whenever there's downtime in Final Fantasy XIV, she's swapping over to a shitty mobile game. And I'm saying shitty mobile game because Tifa rotates through them about once every 4 to 8 weeks, and I don't remember the names, and she is like a locust. She is like the Higurashi, I guess, in a way. She just finds something, then she plays nothing but that one mobile game on her phone for like 2 months straight, and then she just drops it.
Are you done?
I guess.
The game I'm currently playing, which is also the one Jack's talking about on the screen,
which should be sponsoring us at this point, but isn't.
It's called Shop Titans, and I've actually played it for almost 2 years now.
That's disgusting.
I know, but that kind of takes away your point of the whole rotates through them after a month. And that one I can just leave on for 10 minutes while my customers start lining up, do a couple clicks, and then I don't need to do anything again. With RuneScape I do have to pay a little bit more attention, which takes away from Final Fantasy.
Objection.
And the stuff I do AFK in RuneScape also isn't really worth keeping my subscription for.
Objection. You've been playing this game for 2 years because you're too lazy to delete the games that you're not playing on your phone, and because of that you give yourself like choice paralysis, so you keep playing that one game instead of deleting them and trying out different shitty mobile games.
Objection again, because I have cleared up my phone because I needed the space, and there's now no longer a shit ton of games on there that I do not play. What else do you want to complain about? I got proof if you just grab my phone, because I'm no longer allowed to have my phone in the office.
My whole world has just collapsed because I wanted to make fun of you for doing something, but now you have refuted me and I can't say anything against that. Okay, so apparently Tifa plays other games on the side and it's not RuneScape. I was wrong.
But everything he has said, I have done a lot. And a long time. I sometimes keep games on my phone. You really played
this one game for 2 years?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
1 year and like 9 months.
Yeah. Wow. See, now Tifa is lying. That's why you can't trust her. First it's 2 years, then it's 1 year and 9 months. What's next? 1.5 years? Maybe closer to 1 year and 3 months? Maybe it was just 1 year? And in the end it was just 2 months, so I was right.
No. I can tell because I've got the award for logging in every single day.
Also, what Tifa said is true. I'm not allowing phones in the office anymore. And the reason for that is the other day when I had a stroke of inspiration. A stroke of inspiration sounds like something unhealthy. A moment of inspiration. I thought,
like that.
I'm gonna do the thing where I'm gonna take a stream of ours and I'm gonna make some clips from that. And I randomly picked and I chose our first Super Mario Bros. Wonder stream. So I went through the video to try to find moments that I can work on. And I did. And then I realized, you know that sound a speaker makes when a phone is close to it and you're getting a call or a text message? That I heard that. I was like, oh, this is really annoying. So I put my phone away. And then I went back because then I was distracted and I needed to hear what we were doing on stream. So I played the clip again from that moment and again, I took my phone, I brought it to the most remote part of the apartment away from us, past every wall I could find on the way. I come back, I run it a third time. Apparently, at least when we were playing the first time, Mario Wonder back then, one of our phones kept trying to connect to like the radio tower thing, and every now and then, very faintly in the background, you can hear the sound that makes. And it's baked into the audio and I can't get it out.
I want to say that doesn't have something to do with that though, because we've had our phone in here for like 3 years now. It's probably your phone with your Bluetooth on.
Bluetooth? My Bluetooth is off. Also, Bluetooth doesn't make that sound. If you had listened to me, you would have known what sound I was making out.
It's always been here. Why would it start now?
I don't know, because reasons? I'm not a phone. Why would I know why a phone makes that happen?
But yeah, now my phone has been banished too.
All phones have. Yeah. The easiest way to have that not happen is to just not have a phone in this room. You know? Because there's so much stuff that can pick up the sound.
Has it actually not happened since then?
I don't know. But it's not gonna make it more likely to happen.
Yeah, I guess.
You know? Small things. Little things. Why play them at the same time? I only have one screen. Because we're surrounded by screens. I'm looking at 2. There's 2 over there. Plus sitting in front of X amount of screens and taking out your phone. Tifa has a thing for mobile games for some reason.
I enjoy my shitty mobile games.
Every single time I see a free-to-play game pop up on Steam or something, I click through the screenshots of the store page and I check the top of the screen. Because if I see in-game currencies or energy thingies, I'm like, no.
That's very mobile.
I'm not doing that. I will never understand how cynical you have to be to make a video game where the player has to like keep track of how much they've played, and then you put in an artificial break for them to stop playing so that you can nickel and dime them. I reject that thesis. I will never play a game like that. I hate them. All of them. And
what does your playtime have to do with?
Because when there's like an energy bar kind of thing, like,
those things, yeah.
You have 60 out of 60 batteries. Playing this mission, which will take you 4 minutes, will take energy that will need 4 hours to recover.
Yeah, so, those things suck.
At the beginning, usually that's how they get you. At the beginning, usually that's not a problem because you play the first couple missions, they give you extra rewards, you know, to get you hooked.
Like potions or stuff to fill it back up.
Or they just fill it up for you automatically as like a milestone kind of thing. When you keep playing and you're like, oh, this is actually not bad and they're really generous with this. Maybe it's not an issue. And somewhere at the point where I guess they run the metrics, when the whales start happening, it goes, okay, so you can now play effectively for 30 minutes and then you have to wait 8 hours or something. And at that point I'm like...
Yeah, those are
And now I'm just allergic to that stuff. Fuck those games. 100%. I don't like them. Never did. Never will. Is your mobile game like that?
No, it's not.
Maybe it's not as shitty as I thought.
It has an energy bar, but you can play with or without it.
What?
You can fill it by talking to your customers, and if you have enough points, you can get more money out of an item if you use it, but it's easy to fill up and it fills up automatically. You can play without to.
I feel like
it's a shop game.
Somehow there's like a statement hidden behind that, where if you run a shop and you socialize with your customers, you will get extra rewards, but it is extra steps, and if you just don't, you will make money anyway, but potentially less.
Yeah. That's the
I
thing.
don't know how I feel about that. Other than thirsty because I'm warm and sweating.
Happy customers pay more, and you can rip them off more.
We should replay Reciteer at some point. That game doesn't have an energy bar.
I actually wouldn't mind. I really enjoy those types of item shop games.
Okay, how many games like Reciteer can you think of? Here we go.
Not a lot. Like
I can think of one.
Which one?
Reciteer.
Oh, yeah.
Which
yeah,
is
but I mean, I like
the
shop sort of system.
Okay. I think there are more games where you can simulate being a shopkeeper.
Yeah, but I haven't checked that many of them out.
Also talking about simulating things, we've ignored Dark Lords. Redeem Tifa, sit like a human.
No, I did not ignore it. I have been sitting extremely straight.
When? Before the stream? Or?
The entire time. See, I'm sitting like...
Tifa, doing this straight with your arms is not sitting straight. It's about your spine. Come forward.
I'm sitting straight. Yeah, but that's not comfortable.
Yes, because your spine isn't used to it. There. Do this.
Maybe I need to get a pillow.
It will get easier the more you do it. It's a matter of posture. Hence, thank you, Dark Lord. Thank you for helping Tifa sit like a human.
Talking with customers. Please don't talk to me. I'm just here to shop. Yeah, IRL, I really hate it when people talk to me. Like when I want to go into a shop and I already see the person in it, like looking at me, knowing they're gonna strike a conversation with me, I either wait until someone else goes in, or I don't, unless I really have to. Sometimes I pretend I don't speak German so that they don't talk to me.
Sometimes when you go into stores, I find that usually the case in the Netherlands, because there I go into more stores because I'm also like window shopping and stuff. Usually I don't do that here. I'm like, I need toast, so I go to the supermarket, and then I'm like, I need a shirt, so I go to a store where I think I'll buy a shirt, and then I just buy one and then I leave. But in the Netherlands, every now and then, I notice people working there. Like you look into the store, and there's a bored salesperson, and that also come a bit more over here. You're halfway off screen. Thank you. There's a bored salesperson, and they want to talk to you. If you go into the store, just 2 steps into, they will talk to you. And I'm not here for that. Ever.
In the Netherlands, it's also considered good service to do that.
It's also considered good service here, but I think there's like a generational gap. I want to save the moments where I need somebody in a clothing store, for example, to help me with something. I would much rather I go to them and ask them for help versus them coming to me.
But true, it's definitely a generational thing, because if you see like younger people working in the store, they usually also don't talk to you, besides the hi maybe.
Just addressing, hello, I've noticed you've come into the store, hi. That's it. And I prefer
which
that.
I also prefer, but now that you say it, it's usually like, I want to say the generation
of our parents.
Our generation still too.
Less. Because you also have customers like my dad who will go into a store, and if he isn't addressed, preferably by name if possible, he will storm out of the store. I guess you don't want my money. I don't know what made him like that, but I know he is like that, and some people really enjoy that. He is a fickle beast, what can I say? Speak of the devil, Reciteer is on sale because of course it is.
I seriously love that game.
I think there might be a demo if you're unsure, but I can definitely recommend Reciteer.
It's a really nice and chill game about a girl whose father runs off.
Spoil.
No,
it's
the
about
beginning
a girl
of the story.
needing to run a store for reasons.
Okay, fine. Alrighty, a step ahead of you. Did you buy it or did you get the demo?
Thank you, Psycho. Sorry for everybody who was being spoiled about
It's the beginning of the game.
I don't care.
It might even be in the
If it's not
game.
in the game description, it's a spoiler.
Is it not?
I don't think so. I'm not going to check.
Well, then don't check.
Yeah.
As a retail jockey, usually they're supposed to go talk to you to just make sure you're not stealing from the company or if you need help with anything.
Yeah.
I get putting attention to people, and of course the obvious need help with anything, but nah.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't like it. I understand that there's reasons behind it, but don't talk to me.
It's even more awkward if you do say, no, I'm just browsing, and they go away, and then 2 seconds later you do need them.
I always feel super awkward, like, this is why I really don't want to be spoken to unless I have a problem, in which case I'm very happy to talk to them, because how would they know? You know, they can't read my mind. I go into a store and somebody will approach me. Do you need help with anything? No, thanks, I'm just browsing.
Oh, what's even worse is if they then come back.
And then usually, because I'm the person, I go into a store, I look at everything, and then I'm like, meh.
I'm trailing behind,
and then
touching
I leave.
everything.
And Tifa is the textural person. She's like, this t-shirt looks so nice. And I'm like, yeah, I can see that.
You're gonna like touch it.
And I'm done. So I'm leaving. They come talk to me. Do you need anything? No thanks, I'm browsing. And then I'm out. Like, that makes me feel awkward. I know it shouldn't, I'm not doing anything wrong. But if you hadn't spoken to me, I wouldn't feel like I'm now running away after you spoke to me. Because of the timeline of these events. It's between my ears.
Yes, it is. I find it worse when you are actually browsing like a normal person. You already have the whole, no, I don't need anything. And
do you need anything now?
And then 5 minutes later, they're like, oh, do you need help now? No, still don't need help.
Did that once happen, again, when we were in the Netherlands, where this lady came to us like 3 times over 5 minutes?
Yeah, and she kept asking or kept giving comments about the things
we were looking. I was looking at jeans or something like that, and then she kept coming over and talked to Tifa and me, and I'm like,
please talk to us.
In my head, I was like, if you do it a 4th time, I'm leaving. Like, I was thinking about buying this.
Well, she was really nice, but we're not the type of customer.
Plus, fair is fair. You don't know what like the corporate structure is. Like Dark Lord said, there's a reason behind this. So, if, for example, you are somebody like us working at a store like this, and you're like, I don't want to talk to these people. They don't want me to talk to them either. Can we just let be? But then, like, your supervisor comes in and goes,
why aren't you talking to them?
Okay, Tifa, today is your bi-monthly review day. We will make sure to check whether you address every customer by name. If there's a payment, you say thank you and please, and you do the things on the checklist that somebody in corporate who's never worked a day in retail has set out. And then you're like, hi, can I help you? Do you need anything? And I'm like, no, please leave. If I keep bugging you, it's usually them being bored or thinking you're up to something.
It's probably more the bored thing.
I mean, you also look like you're up to something.
That is true. And sometimes when I think I'm acting suspicious, I start to think about it. And I realize I start acting more suspicious. I really do.
Tifa starts walking funny.
I start walking funny. And really I grab the thing and I look for security and I like put it back and then I like grab something again and I look around and I like put it back and I know I'm acting suspicious. So whenever I leave the store...
It's like your mind goes, what would a thief do? Oh, they would do this. Why am I doing it now? Something like that.
So whenever I leave the store and I realize I've done the whole sus walk, I stand, I go through the little gates and I wait outside at the door. I look around a bit. I'm like on my phone trying to see which direction I need to go. And I give them a moment to think, okay, if she stole something, she would have run. Or she would have been gone straight away. So I try to do the not suspicious, stand in the store for like half a minute maybe.
You act like you didn't steal anything because you did in fact not steal anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird.
Like,
Is it a generational thing too?
I want to believe that if someone stole something, they would not keep standing in front of the store. So I usually stand
Yeah.
in front of the store, pretend I'm looking for my way, and then I'll be
But with a face,
walking.
with an expression on her face that says, "Oh my god, I can't believe it didn't beep." You know, where she's like, heist.
Can we be any more awkward? Yes.
Not much.
But
Not without really living in excess and doing things that shouldn't be done. Or just steal and act like that anyway to avoid suspicion. It's a perfect. Please don't steal. No, it's not good. Don't do it. But you already do all the steps except the stealing part, so maybe it would feel like a common reoccurrence. We will not find out because we're not going to start doing anything. Okay. Also, Evie bought 8 games for $80 yesterday.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
That's less than 10 on average. That's how I always do the math in my head to not feel bad about me buying games that I'm not going to play anytime soon.
I like to look at the percentage on Steam. That's how they get me.
Oh, the sales discount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's like 50% off. I'm like, you can do 75 at some point, right?
The thing is, sometimes they also change the base price, and then, like, you know, 70% off of 50 is still more expensive than 70% off of 40. I think. It turns out cheaper, but the percentage isn't the same. Not like Activision and stuff, or I guess Microsoft Activision now, because they never change the prices on games. It's gonna be $60 for the rest of eternity. They're worse than Nintendo in that regard. I don't understand why.
But I didn't even look at the Steam sale yet, so gotta see what's all in there.
You still have like 2 weeks.
$3 for Recettear is really good though. Oh, yes. If we're going on a vacation tomorrow, can you install
when, not if.
Recettear on the Steam Deck? You're probably gonna drag that along anyway, no?
Yes, I can.
Were you planning on taking it along?
Yes. I wasn't planning to give it to you.
I mean, that is fair.
No, that should work. Yeah. And you can play a bit. She hates that thing. I bought it
I'm not a big fan.
like a year and a half ago because I decided to treat myself and I'm happy with it. And then I'm like, oh my god, this thing is really cool. Here, Tifa, try it out.
I can play Final Fantasy on this. I'm like, it's so annoying to play Final Fantasy on that, or like other PC games on there sometimes.
I hate it. And I'm like, why do you hate it? It's like a Switch but bigger with 4 more buttons. Like, why do you hate it? And he's like, I don't like holding it.
It's unwieldy. More so than the Switch. Like, the Switch is still doable.
You know what's also unwieldy? Me. Now choose your next words carefully.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, because
feel around the trap that you're setting.
Because first of all,
because there is one.
Yeah, I got you. First of all, you expected when I set up that line that I was gonna say you.
No, I thought you were gonna say the recap.
That would have been a good segue, but no. But I understand that I confused you. Anyway, so what's your answer?
You're not unwieldy. Except when I carry you on my back.
Which you don't really do. Also, have you tried holding me like a handheld game device? Trust me, it's not gonna be nice.
No.
I think I'm slightly bigger than like a Switch and a teeny tiny bit heavier. Oh well.
But yeah, Steam Deck, not for me. I definitely see the appeal. Jack, isn't a Game Boy?
For legal purposes, no. Mentally, yes. Yes. And I will not further elaborate because everything I can say will be rather dirty and I don't want to go there today.
So,
you know what I want to go to and that isn't dirty? The recap. I did used to have an accessory called the Handy Boy. Oh, yes, was that huge clunky thing where you slid like this extra like joystick and bigger buttons that were like almost squarish onto the Game Boy, and then on top you had like this magnifying glass with the fold up stereo speaker, technically stereo speakers, and like a light. I remember that, if that's the thing.
I need to Google this.
Yes, Tifa has found it. I had that. I used that out in the wild like twice because it had a light and a magnifying glass, and that was really cool. And I think I must have been like 6 or 7 back then. But in hindsight, holding the Game Boy inside the Handy Boy, that thing must have been half the size of 6-year-old me. Because it was so big. So big.
The weird thing is, I remember having this thing on top of it.
She's pointing at things you can't see.
Yeah, but then maybe you can fill that in the
magnifying glass.
The magnifying glass thing, but I don't remember anything around it. Could you buy that loose?
I think it came in a set.
This looks like an abomination.
In hindsight, yes. I'm so happy that Nintendo and stuff decided to just give us backlit screens, because how did we ever live without them? It was truly the dark ages. Do you hear that startup sound when you wake up? Ping! Something like that, yes. Usually it's more like the Windows XP shutdown sound, but close. Such a powerful device, it was so helpful. I loved it and I hated it. I blew my own mind when I realized, wait, I can just use the light and the magnifying lens, and I don't have to use the extra stick, because mine was like sticky. Not sticky as in like sticky, but but sticky like a button would get stuck, and that was really annoying. Played Golden Sun on the original Game Boy Advance, no backlit to hold it awkwardly. Yes, it was the worst. I was so happy when...
But good memories.
Yeah, kind of. I was so happy that around the time Golden Sun came out, in a store over here, I found this like battery pack that was like super huge. It was like 1.5 times the size of the Game Boy Advance. You could snap it onto that, and it was like shaped like a gamepad, and it had like battery power for, I want to say, like 20 hours. And this worm light thing that you would stick onto the external port at the top of a Game Boy Advance, and then you had like a reading lamp. And it was still annoying because if you looked straight at it, the lamp would be obscuring part of the screen and you had light directly on. But if you held it like this, it was comfortable. Those were the days. Yeah. Rayman, unless it... the old Game Boy was so bad. If you think about it nowadays. I'm glad those days are over. We've come a long way.
It was fun.
But you know what's difficult? Even in direct sunlight? Tifa giving the recap. Full of segues. Tifa, what has happened the last time we played Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 2 Watanagashi?
The last time we played, we were still in the temple, which...
In the warehouse.
In the warehouse temple thing at the Watanagashi festival, which is filled with torture devices.
Yeah.
We were kind of wrapping it up already because Tomitake came in and was like, hey, the festival is almost over, we need to get going. We really thought we would get caught in there, but we did not yet. Or from what it seems like, we didn't get caught. We left. Takano
and Tomitake-san went down to the river to still enjoy the cotton drifting. Shion was like, we should leave as well, but separately, because Mion would blow up if she saw me, so I'm gonna go this way and you should go find your friends.
She just said that she was really tired and she wanted to go home.
Yeah,
and it's not her first festival. So yes, she left, but she was like, since it's your first festival, you should really still do the cotton thing. So you go do that. And
my point being, we split up. So both Takano and Tomitake-san went away, and then Shion left, and then we as Keiichi met our friends, who found us as we were stumbling back towards the festival.
Everyone besides Satoko.
Who was unexplainably missing.
Yeah, and we had a very awkward, or Keiichi kind of made it awkward for himself, because he was like, I totally saw everything and you did great and you made 0 mistakes, when apparently she did make a mistake.
Rika-chan was like, Then Harina was like, no, it wasn't a mistake. Aww. Apparently she messed up big time. Somehow, not that we know, because we were lying through our teeth when we said, no, we saw everything and it was great.
So we
And
were
then we went to
still... No, not yet. We were still gonna do the futon thing. And Mion asked us whether we have seen Shion twice. Important, because it will come back. And we lied to her and said, we don't know. Or not even lied to her. We went with the awkward, I don't know.
I don't know.
It could have been you.
You look the same because you're twins.
Yeah, which was
I got
really...
separated from all of you, and I saw somebody looking like you and Shion because you know you look the same.
Which was really weird. That question is important.
Yes.
Then we went to bed.
Yes.
We learned in the hints that someone did actually, or people did actually go missing, and or one person
we
went
know
missing.
one person is dead because they were found burnt.
2 people are dead.
We found. The police found one person burned to a crisp inside a drum outside of Hinamizawa.
In a way that was supposed to be found by them. No, but it has to be the second death, because in the conversation they were like, oh, shouldn't this have been the missing person? Which means they already found a dead person.
Or they
So
say
that
that because they anticipate that there will be 2 people who will be affected, as per the last years.
Yeah, but if you already have...
As you
if you
can
didn't have
see,
a dead person yet, you
the
wouldn't say
dead
that.
person is set in stone, the rest isn't.
I am 100% sure we have 2 dead people, 1 missing, but we only really talked about the baked person in the barrel.
Who was thankfully very identifiable because the dental records were found at a dentist in the area.
We do not know who it is yet.
Correct.
Next day we went to school. We first thought it was Satoko because she was missing at the Watanagashi at the end. But Satoko was actually at school, so it wasn't her.
Or somebody looking like Satoko.
We're not going to do that at all. Then, while we were at school, why did we leave the classroom?
We were really tired and like half falling asleep. And then eventually our beloved teacher Chie started throwing chalk at us.
True, that was...
Walked up to us and went like, why don't you go throw some water in your face? So Keiichi decided, I'm gonna do that, but not inside the bathroom because it's dark in there. Because apparently they don't have lights in the restrooms. So instead he decided to go outside to use one of the sinks that they have outside for
Apparently
reasons,
those are nice.
where he bumped into Mion, who we didn't say yet, we also had issues with on the way to school because we met with Reina, who also commented on Keiichi looking tired. But then when we got to the usual meetup spot, Mion wasn't there. Until, after we waited for a moment, she suddenly appeared, not looking quite like she was having a great day. And then there was a moment where she was like having a fever, or maybe not. She was feeling kind of beat, but she took medicine and she like had to run all the way here. But that doesn't make sense because her house is like right over there. Why are you tired? Oh my god, we need to run to school. We're all late. Anyway, then Keiichi did the thing and now he's going outside and...
We met Mion again. Mion once again asked us the question, have we seen Shion at the festival?
Mion told us that the reason she wasn't feeling too hot, still isn't, and now in fact leaving school early, is because she spent more time at the festival the night before with her family, doing something, and she drank alcohol. And now she has a pounding headache, she has a hangover, and she took some medicine, and now she's leaving. And she got very, very upset when we didn't give her a straight answer as to whether we have met Shion. My working theory about that is the person we're talking to is in fact Shion, and Mion is either missing or dead, which would be huge.
Yeah, it would be, but I have a hard time. It would not be shocking right now if they reveal that, but I also feel like they try to point it out too much that it could be Shion, that I don't think it is actually Shion.
Yeah, with
just because of how much emphasis they put on it, which seems
in a way
too over the top, like we want you to believe that, so it's like a reverse psychology sort of thing that's currently going on. I do not know. But it wouldn't be too shocking, but I don't think it is. And having Shion killed is also weird.
And now she's giving us the evil stare again, and we're like, oh yeah, let's go to bed, bye. End of stream. There were more words than that, but still. It's Satoko's twin sister, Madoka. Man, I can't wait for Keiichi Maebara.
Hey, just because we haven't met her yet doesn't mean she doesn't exist.
That is true. That could still happen. I mean, I didn't see the Shion sister twist coming in chapter 2, so... Just drink constantly, no time for a hangover to set it.
That is actually good advice.
That is horrible advice. That is horrible advice.
What is it if you go to bed with a hangover? When you wake up, you should drink the last thing you drank before you go to bed.
Nah.
I know I've tried that once, but I don't remember if it worked.
That's the kind of advice people that should definitely drink less alcohol give you. More alcohol is not the solution to suffering after drinking alcohol.
I gotta say, I never really had very big hangovers, like where I felt shit the entire day. If I now drink too much, maybe I would have that. I don't know.
I'm weird. My chest starts hurting when I drink too much alcohol, way before I can start like puking and pass out. I'm wild. She was in a wheelchair on screen, please stop.
Let's not go there.
If there's ever a twist like that again, oh my lord. It's his sister, she. It could be. For all we know, it could happen.
I think we had enough siblings in this chapter.
I would not mind that. Oh yeah, last thing Mion asked us was, Mion, the girl with the green hair interrogating us menacingly.
Shmion.
Shmion, yeah, the hybrid. Have we seen Tomitake and Takano? And we're like, maybe in passing, because of course we can't tell her that. Yeah, sure, we broke into your kink dungeon.
Totally don't remember.
I mean, not yours, Shmion, but the villages, because we shouldn't talk about that, right? Tifa, are you ready?
Go for it.
I would, but oh no, I can. Yep. There we go. Tomitake-san and Takano-san. Shion too. She was asking me about him. There was no doubt about it. Last night the four of us snuck into the ritual storehouse. She knew everything. So what? There's not really a curse anyway. That's right. Even Shion and Takano-san said yesterday during the festival that there was no curse. And that rather than a curse, it was the doing of the villagers. My blood curdled. Mion was, almost without a doubt, aware that we snuck into the storehouse? It was nothing strange. I screwed up bad flipping on the light switch last night. If Mion had been searching for me, it was so simple to imagine that she had seen that momentary light and come to find out what was going on. That's why you shouldn't do that. Sorry.
Did you really not see her?
Why are you so intent on knowing if I did or not?
It's not important. It's just that there are some people who are speaking poorly of Tomitake-san, Takano-san, Shion, and you, Kei-chan. Some people. I didn't really hear what they were saying, though.
How do you know somebody is speaking poorly of these four people, but you don't know exactly what they were saying?
Tone, certain words.
Unpleasant sweat dripped down my arms, and the sound of it hanging from my fingertips was so annoyingly loud. I hate that when I can hear my sweat.
I don't believe that you were doing something bad. I just wanted to ask a bit about it, so I did. Sorry for making you uncomfortable, okay?
She said after she gave us the death glare.
Mm-hmm. She's still glaring at us.
Now she's just like intense.
It's a disappointed sort of glare.
I think that's Shion. And that's also why they killed Mion.
Yeah, but why would Shion have this conversation with us? To see if we snitch?
Yes, exactly. I found myself unable to reply. My reaction must have made it obvious what the truth was, and yet I couldn't explain myself.
Kei-chan, you weren't with Tomitake-san, Takano-san, or Shion, right?
Yeah. I finally wrung out an answer between ragged breaths. Mion's expression softened a little.
That's good. I'll have to tell them. You weren't involved in anything bad, Kei-chan. So I'll make sure to tell everyone.
Yeah, please do. Tell them I wasn't doing anything bad. To everyone, make sure... Everyone. Everyone? Who is everyone?
Okay, later. I'll be better tomorrow. Bye-bye. Yeah, that's a good question.
Yes, everyone is her and her mafia yakuza wannabe family who killed people last night.
To be fair though, everyone in a place like this is the entire village.
Yes, everyone is assholes here. That's the point. Wait, Mion. What do you mean by everyone? Just then, a freezing cold hand touched the back of my neck.
Hey, you're late, Maebara-kun. How long does it take you to wash your face?
I have quite a big face, so... It was the teacher. I was taking so long, she came out to get me. I'm sorry, I was just speaking to Mion. I turned around, but Mion had crossed through the schoolyard without me realizing it and was now standing at the gate.
Come back to your studies. Quickly now.
The teacher was being insistent. We returned to the entrance. I looked back one more time and Mion was nowhere in sight. I would imagine in a field with a lot of grass and trees, Mion and Shion are harder to spot because of their green hair blending in. No? Purely from a visual standpoint?
Sure. Keiichi, you haven't seemed well all day.
Boo! That wasn't a joke.
He was probably serious too.
I am! I'm not even kidding. That's an observation.
So, you've seen plenty of people who had their hair dyed green.
Yes.
Did you think they were bald when you walked past them outside?
Did I think they were bald?
Yeah, because their hair blends in.
No.
Well, then there's your answer.
What? Why would I think their hair becomes invisible?
You said that they're hard to spot because they blend in with the trees.
Against grass and trees from the back, yes.
It's clearly because he had far too much fun yesterday.
What? I don't want to be told... I don't want to be told that by the one who got lost. Your face was all red and you were nearly crying.
Oh, so we did find her yesterday.
Off screen, convenient.
Satoko was so cute last night.
My friends did their best to try and cheer me up, but it didn't lighten my mood. Was it far worse than I thought? Had I really done something that terrible last night? These thoughts remained with me for the rest of the day.
For the village? Yes, probably. Bye, Keiichi-kun. I'll see you tomorrow.
By the time I realized that I was in front of my own house.
Mi-chan had a cold, right? Could you have a cold too, Keiichi-kun? Could you?
Huh, I'm fine. I may look scrawny, but I've never missed a school... But I've never missed school because of a cold.
Mm-hmm. Both you and Mi-chan didn't look so good today, though.
Thanks for worrying about me. I'm fine. Idiots don't catch colds, remember? That explains why Tifa's immune system is so good, actually. And mine's so bad. Bam! Proven true
Proof has
by
been found.
Keiichi Maebara. Reina smiled, then waved to me and left. Whew. With my shoulders bobbing up and down from breathing heavily, I entered the house. As soon as I got back in, Mom called out to me. What?
Keiichi? I'm sorry, but could you go to the library and return a few books for me?
No. Huh? I don't feel like it.
Your dad and I have to wait inside the house for a phone call right now, so we can't leave. I need to return them today. Could you please do it?
Sheesh. Did it have to do with Dad's job? No point in arguing if I bring that up. I guess so, but I don't know where the library is.
Oh, you don't? It's a little bit past Okinomiya station.
Okino what?
Okinomiya.
Okinomiya?
Okinomiya.
Everybody knows the little rural American village, Okinomiya. Just then the phone rang. My parents' faces immediately turned grim. Mom snatched up the receiver.
Okinomiya station. Yeah, that's right behind it.
That's the small one for the little train next to.
Hello? Maebara speaking. I'm sorry? Yes, he's right here.
Then she thrust the receiver in my face.
It's for you, Keiichi. Don't take too long, okay?
I tried to ask who it was from, but asking the person on the phone directly would be faster. Hello?
Ah, this is Sonozaki. Well, the younger one. Hello. Do you have time to talk right now? No.
It was Shion. The older sister had a hangover today, but the younger sister made no reference to it. Shion. I thought you'd be sleeping in today with a hangover, same as Mion.
Why would Shion go into it already? Hi, I'm Shion. How are you doing? Do you have time to talk? By the way, my sister has a hangover and I don't.
Hello, Maebara residents. I've called to tell your son that I have a headache. Bye. Like. Also, why would she... Wait, no. Wait, it's not as dumb as we think, I believe. If the whole family was together and Mion drank alcohol, it's fair to assume maybe everybody had something to drink, and that would include Shion. I don't think it's because they're twins, she must have been drunk too.
Yeah, but that's not the thing. It's the whole, why didn't she mention that?
Yeah. Speech 100. How to talk to girls 101. Are you drunk?
What? Mion had a hangover? That is so like her.
She laughed warmly, but Mom glared at me, silently telling me to finish up. Whoops, sorry. My parents are waiting for an important call, so I can't talk for long. What do you need?
There's something I wanted to talk about, but if we can't talk long, I guess that's that.
She sounded a little disappointed. They share telepathic liver. Imagine though.
It would be kind of funny if it works like that.
Imagine. I mean, do we know if that's not a thing in reality? With like quantums and stuff? Maybe you, Psycho, every time you eat a kebab, somebody somewhere else also feels the enjoyment of having eaten a kebab without you knowing. And isn't that just an extra reason for you to treat yourself to one?
Suddenly I don't feel bad about maybe getting another one tomorrow.
That was already the plan anyway, you fool.
Yeah, but I was gonna say no because twice in a week seemed a bit extreme.
Yeah,
I knew a kebab shop opened, I kid you not, like a 2-minute walk from here at the corner of the street, and it's like
amazing.
the best one I've had in this city in the 10 years.
Great, you tricked me again. You and your tricks. Oh well.
And it seems so risky to open a doner shop here because the average population is a bit older.
Yeah, and the people around here don't necessarily look like they would enjoy a kebab.
Yeah, so now I feel like I have to go there extra too to make sure they don't go away.
So if we don't go there daily, they might go out of business. And
Yeah,
do
exactly.
we really want to do that to the economy?
I wouldn't want to be responsible for that. Doner has to go. Brrr. Yeah, it's so good.
Kebab. They counted on you, Tifa.
I will save this business.
I hope they give us discount at some point.
They actually did wanted to.
They didn't give you a discount. He was bad at counting money.
I was super nice, by the way. Before we continue, I was super nice and did not steal money from the donor shop because I calculated how much I had to pay him. I gave the amount, to the cent. He had everything, and then he gave me money back. And I'm like holding it, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was the amount that I gave you. And he's like, no, it's
And he turns around and he looks at the price. He's like, it's this plus this. And then we in unison are like, yes, so it's this. And he's like, oh, that's really nice of you, thank you. And we're like, no worries.
And then I gave him back the money.
Yeah. Stream successfully derailed. That's the power of doner kebab.
Dinner is so good.
By the way, Keiichi's parents are angry at us because we're stalling. What would Shion want to talk to me about?
I think they already missed this important phone call.
Now I was interested. So Keiichi wasn't interested in talking to Shion before that? Hurtful. Then how about we meet in person? If you could show me where the library is too, that would be great.
You mean the public library near the station? Yeah, that's fine. I go past there on my way to work anyway.
Okay, then you know where I usually meet up with Mion? At that intersection where the small path from the Sonozaki house splits?
Oh, Keiichi? Did I not tell you? I don't live at the main house. I live in Okinomiya.
I feel like that's been brought up before.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if it was in this one or in chapter 1.
It was not in chapter 1, it was in
be.
chapter 2, but I think it was during a tip.
Was that a tip?
That was a tip. Yeah.
Could be.
Where they explained to us that Mion lives with the grandmother at the main house in Hinamizawa, alone, and the rest of the family lives somewhere else.
No, we had that talk with her because she also mentioned like, oh, if I move then I can come to your school.
Oh yeah, true.
We had this conversation with her. I think this is just a reminder. If we could meet by the ticket machines at Okinomiya station, that would be great.
I think Shion is faking it because she can't even say where she lives. Okinomiya? Okinomimimi?
Now I get it.
Main house. Living in Okinomiya. Now that she mentioned it, it's always seemed like the Sonozaki sisters weren't communicating. Did they live in different houses? What do you mean it seems like they weren't communicating? They knew everything the other person did. How did that... What? To the point where Shion was able to impersonate Mion, and technically vice versa if Mion ever confirmed that she posed as Shion bringing us the bento back then.
Slightly confusing.
I'm so mad. Also, now that she mentioned it, Reina said she'd never met the younger sister despite going over to play sometimes. Let's meet at the station then. I'll go there right away. Bye! I set the receiver down and Mom immediately thrust a large pile of library books in my face. 6 volumes of long-form mystery novels. Mom had her own hobbies.
Thank you, Keiichi. Be back by nightfall.
Got it.
I miss a good library.
Okay, I'm going. Well, build one then. Hater. I suppose I'd change my clothes and grab my bike key. I climbed the stairs to my bedroom. My bedroom is Okinomiya Station. Holy, that's very convenient. Shion had been waiting for me already, so meeting up was a smooth process. Wow, Mia never keeps her appointments. I mean, honestly.
Making my sister the standard for everything will get you in trouble.
Shion seemed a little unsteady too. She was drinking with Mion last night, wasn't she? You didn't get any sleep last night either, did you? Don't try and hide it. You definitely went home from school early.
Oh, too bad. I've been at home all day in the first place. I'm smarter than Mion after all.
When you skip cutscenes. Yeah, I felt like something went missing or I pressed the wrong button, but... Hey, I don't think you can call playing hooky smarter.
You should finish your errand first. We don't have that much time. We're going to the library, right?
I'm so proud of you right now.
What?
For saying errand like a normal person. Tifa has this thing where like she knows what an errand is. But for some reason, every single time she's ever said the word to me before this moment, like she has a stroke in her throat and she says, around.
Yeah, I have said that a few times.
Yes, every single time.
No, not every single time.
Yes, you have.
No, definitely not. I have, but not every single time. I want to say it's like a 50-50 on what I feel like more at the moment.
What do you mean you feel like saying around? Which sounds like your bird trying to hack up food to give to your babies?
It's just what comes out of my mouth, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's wrong.
Can't always help that.
You should be able... Wait, but who can? Who's in charge of what you say and how?
Well, only people who have a filter can help that. My mind just blabs it out already. It's like bleh.
Bleh.
My mind is just puking out the words and then hope it comes out correctly.
In that case, Tifa, I like your word.
Bleh.
Yeah, thanks. My mom had to return some books by today. Is the library far?
No, it's really close by.
As she said that, we spotted the signboard for the library almost immediately. If it was this easy to find, then I guess I didn't need Shion to show me where it was after all. We rode around a bend and the building was right there. Shishibone Public Library. We lived in the country, so I hadn't expected too much, but it was pretty big. The first floor was actually a government office, so the library was only on the second floor, but it still looked large enough to fit a decent collection of books. Oh my god, the drawing in the back is so cute.
Caterpillar thing, or ant.
Like straight in the middle above the plant. Aww.
That is cute.
That's adorable. I want one like that.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, I guess, Wiggler's cousin from Hinamizawa.
That works.
3, 2, 1... Tifa has successfully not seen that there's a clock yet, which doesn't show the time.
Oh no, I've seen it.
But you held back then.
There's not a single clock that has hands. I was even thinking of saying something, but then it was like, nah, we're past that.
Do you think there's a reason for that?
We've evolved. What I have not evolved past is the brain and
yeah.
the magazine corner
in the magazine stand
that
on the
has
right.
eyes on it.
I mean, yeah.
That looks okay. Ah, that's too small on stream. On top of the brain halves, they could also be lungs because they're not attached really.
We
or
don't.
Livers, kidneys.
I think it's a brain, Tifa.
I think it's supposed to be a brain. It has eyes on top.
Or it's two cute frogs sitting like this.
That does not look like a frog. That's a veiny potato, if anything.
That's two pink frogs with stripes on their back.
That's two veiny potatoes.
Do you mean
at
veiny
each other.
potatoes?
They have like little veins on them.
You're a veiny potato.
That's a cool username. A veiny potato.
Veiny potato is the kind of username I expect to see on adult sites.
If you ever do see the username, I promise it's not me.
Let me quickly register that. Veiny potato.
Unless it was created today.
We passed through the automatic doors and were greeted by the cool breeze of an air curtain. An air curtain? The cicadas had been loud outside, but it was quiet inside the library. The air conditioning inside was keeping the temperature at an ideal level for the books, which had that mildewy smell unique to old paper. I guess every library is basically the same. If there was one difference, it was that people studying for tests weren't taking up all the seats. I was one of those people, but now that seemed like a distant memory. We're going to find veiny potato plushies and t-shirts. Why is that thought so weird to me?
If I ever have the option to make my own plushie, I will remember veiny potato.
If we ever make a band, veiny potato should be the band name.
The veiny potatoes.
No, just veiny potato. No S at the end, just veiny potato.
Okay, yeah, I'll be down. So we gotta re-release the songs we already uploaded.
No, that was a new. We have to make new songs that have to do with veininess and potatoiness. I guess. Come back to veiny potato. And how do you feel about it?
After stream, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to write a song about veiny potatoes. Let's see what it comes up with.
Do that. I don't know what's gonna come out of that, but... hello, I have books I'd like to return. The librarian went through the process of checking them in and then returned my mom's library card. Shion was going around the bookshelves with a deeply interested look on her face, like she wasn't the type who went to libraries very often. Sorry for the wait. I'm all done.
In case you're wondering, by the way, Psycho, there's a magazine on there that looks like it has two veiny potatoes having a stare-off with an eye on it.
Right.
You can't really see it.
Directly right off Shion's shoulders.
It doesn't translate too well on the...
Yes, it does. Just make it bigger.
It's really small.
Just make it bigger.
No, it's just small.
Just read your line, woman.
Yeah, the Veiny Potato magazine.
It's a brain.
Potatoes. Libraries sure are nice and cool, aren't they? I want to work in a library one day.
Don't know whether to call that boring or dependable. It's a pretty small dream compared to your sister. Mion would definitely want to be a hard-working employee for an international trading company or some other crazy job that involved her running all around the world. Compared to that, what Shion said is pretty heartwarming.
I wouldn't mind the librarian life.
Like Keiichi immediately judging other people's dreams and hopes. Like,
well, we need to keep our differences dear to us. We're not copies. We're two different people called Shion and Mion.
Are we
and
sure about
together
that?
we transform into...
To Shmion. Twins have a lot to think about, huh? Still, it sounds like fun. I don't have any brothers, so there's just me and my parents at my house. It can get a little uncomfortable. What?
It's the same for me. I don't live with Mion after all.
Oh right, she said something like that, didn't she? Why though? Sisters living apart is unusual. You good?
This looks like the room we've also seen Ooishi in before.
Yeah, where he was blackmailing the three punks.
Yeah, but without the can machine.
The vending machine, Tifa?
I think he had a vending machine.
The can machine. Is it a can or a May machine, Tifa?
It depends if something comes out or not.
If you do get something after you put in money, it was a can machine. If you don't get anything, it was a can not machine.
Yeah. That's part of the surprise.
That was horrible. I hated everything about all of that.
It's a canned machine. It's just there for decoration.
We were getting tired of talking while we were walking. We ended up going to the lounge area, which was vacant, and continuing the conversation.
Yes. Mion lives at the main house, and I live in Okonomiya.
Okinomiya.
Okinomiya?
You said Okonomiya.
Oh, well.
How is...
It's the suburbs.
You are a fake weeb. Suburbs. It took me a second. Actually, there's Okinomiya, and actually, I'm from the Okonomiya part.
Yeah, exactly. Who lives there? I'm a resident.
It's actually pronounced that way in the traditional Japanese.
Besides, my house is so big.
It has its own zip code.
It counts as its own area.
I'm too warm for this. What do you mean by main house? You make it sound like your nobility.
It's just the main house. The Sonozaki family's main house. Mion's the successor, so she lives with Nana and apparently studies all sorts of things as preparation to be head of the family.
Mion, the head of a family. It kind of fit her personality, but kind of didn't too.
Kei-chan, you just moved here, right? This will sound like I'm boasting, but we of the Sonozaki family are kind of personages around here.
I'm kind of a big deal. Huh? Seriously. The word personage didn't really match the extremely sociable air that Mion and Shion gave off. From what Shion explained, the Sonozaki family goes way back to the beginnings of Hinamizawa. After the war, they had a bunch of successful ventures and extended their influence to a wide area. There's the clue we were waiting for, Tifa.
The successful venture that you mentioned. I mean, they're probably all demon blood.
In order to have your family spread this much, trust me, yes, it also needs to be successful. But that's not the point. The Sonozaki family goes way back to the beginnings of Hinamizawa.
Yeah, so?
When it was still Onigafuchi village, I wanna bet.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so they demons. Half demons, at least.
According to the stories, half of the city are demons.
Yes, but they are nobility, they are personages, they are top-ranking demon people. Also, the sound you heard was me moving the keyboard.
The Sonozaki house is a foundation under which the entire family cooperates. Though the current family head, Grandma, was the one who built it. Wait, how old is Grandma?
We don't talk about her. She looks like she's 17, but she's actually a 1,017-year-old dragon or demon. The entire family would provide backup to help one relative with a business venture. They were like a huge living company.
124 years old. Wait,
well, we get that confirmed because impressive. Life is simply unfair. She's like Bruno, you can't talk about her. You don't ask a lady her age. Do you know nothing?
We don't talk about Grandma.
Now I can hear her in the wall. We need to watch Encanto again. This let them avoid tax-related problems and help relatives' ventures succeed, one after another, using large amounts of money. Avoid tax-related problems? You mean avoiding taxes?
If you ever go for a walk through Okinomiya, please pay attention to the signboards and stuff. There's a ton of shops that are managed by members of the Sonozaki family.
Now that you mention it, that toy store looked like it was managed by relatives as well. Does that mean your relatives operate Angel Mart too? Even what few shops I was familiar with were involved with the Sonozaki family. It was definitely surprising.
Are they coming up with these things to remind us, or does Keiichi just forget we had the whole conversation that she works there to help out her uncle?
Yes.
Okay. The family is particularly strong in finance and real estate. And hentai.
The next part is important, I feel like.
Even a lot of members of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry either have the last name Sonozaki or are their relatives. There are Sonozakis in the city council, the prefectural assembly too, since they have the Okinomiya area giving them strong electoral support.
Wait a minute. This is all escalating pretty quickly. Her relatives operate shops in downtown Okinomiya and they're especially strong in finance and real estate? On top of that, a lot of those in the Chamber of Commerce and Industry are relatives, and there are even people elected into local offices. So then, the Sonozaki family, it's pretty famous in this area?
You speak of the devil.
Why?
Why what?
I keep going back to my idea that the missing member of the dam construction buffet party, the one that got away, is ooishi-san.
Nah.
And he is a Sonozaki. He is her grandfather. I'm writing it down.
I think Oishi might have married into the family at some point and divorced or something.
I'm writing it down.
I don't think he actually is a Sonozaki. If he is related, it's because of that.
Oishi is Shmion's grandfather.
Well, then write down if they are related, he married into the family. Probably divorced.
unnecessary details, I feel like, but... Married into
It's not
the
unnecessary
family,
details.
but divorced. I know, it feels like it to me, but...
Countering
Your
your
call.
grandpa.
My grandfather?
Grandpa theory. Besides, I bet he's just here for a can't.
I can't with you today. It's too warm for that, Tifa. Yes. It's crazy. All of a sudden, a cigarette-smoking, overweight old man interrupted our conversation. Wait, I know this guy. Hello. Good afternoon. Are you on a date today? Nah, what I would give to be young again.
If you thought we were on a date, then why are you bothering us? Ooishi-san?
That was it. He was ooishi-san, a police officer. I thought it was this person who came to my rescue when I got involved with those delinquents before. Now that I thought about it, Mion didn't seem to like him very much. No, I apologize. I heard a familiar voice, so I came over to see. Ooishi-san laughed coarsely, not showing any sign of giving up. As Shion watched him do so, I didn't feel the same sense of malice from her as I had from Mion. Maebara-san, right? You're one tough guy. Two-timing the Sunozaki sisters, are you? If only you had Ooishi-san's air conditioning, I would love that.
Right now, that would be quite nice.
Excuse you? Wow. That's the last time I tried to give you relief from the heat.
Oh, we need to find a fan.
No, we don't. And if we find one, I'll be the one using it, because you don't deserve it after that. No, I'm not two-timing anyone. I turned around to look at Shion and plead for help, but she grinned and maintained her silence. Her gaze wandered. She looked at the clock.
I'm sorry, Keiichi. I really need to get to my job.
Huh? Oh, did you? Wait, didn't Shion have something to talk about today? Now this weird man is here, though.
Yep, I'll see you later. Oh, I'll give you a call after I'm done. It will be okay to call at night, right?
Yeah, probably okay.
Then I'll talk to you later tonight. Bye!
The person who saved us from the delinquents is not Shion. That was Mion. Writing that down too, just in case it gets important.
So you think it was Mion who did that whole shift in there back then? In Angel Mort?
Possibly, yeah. The reason being, the reaction to ooishi-san appearing was very different. Every time ooishi-san has shown up when one of the Shmion twins is there, so far they were very angry. They seemed to have a negative reaction to him just being there. And Shion's was like, oh, I gotta go, bye. Which is a very socially acceptable way to get out of a situation you don't want to participate in. Whereas in the other instances, there was visible anger, disdain. So I think that was Mion. And this is Shion.
Okay.
Assuming both of them are still alive currently and one of them isn't in the drum, then my theory falls apart.
I think we might now actually in this conversation learn who died after he starts talking about the Watanagashi festival.
You think the police officers just randomly approaching teenagers and going like, hey, did you know somebody died yesterday? It was this guy? Strange, right?
It's not the first time something like that happened. And wasn't he at the temple too when we were talking to Takano?
Yeah, so?
So he knows we have seen them if they are indeed the ones that have died. We've been in contact with them. And Ooishi has dropped all of these details before.
No, that wasn't actually in this time loop around. which you would know if you also subscribe to the time loop theory. Like I do, clearly.
Yeah, I agree, but their personalities don't really change. Like that is still a thing.
Here we go, I was waiting for it. Check!
That's basically who he is. But I say before we find out, we take a short break.
Before we do that, I still gotta say, I liked ooishi-san better in chapter 1 because in chapter 2 he started doing the which seems kind of out of place for him, but...
You've had that in chapter 1 too.
No, he laughed quite a bit, but not like from what I remember.
Fair enough.
So I'm gonna off screen for a moment. BRB.
BRB. We're back.
We are.
Almost ready.
Imagine me asking 14 times at least whether you're ready.
Well, you can already continue.
No, now you can hear the very calm and relaxing music. Shion left so fast she was practically running. Ooishi-san was waving at me with a grin. Like this. No? The strained gulping down the tea.
That's creepy.
I don't have a normal grinning wavy face when I do it on the spot, sorry. I felt like I'd been left here as bait so she could get away. Maybe she was lying about having to go to work. You're quite a big shot being so close to the Sonozaki daughters. Maybe I should rethink how I talk to you, too. Ooishi-san put a coin into a vending machine as he said something a bit appalling. Is iced tea okay with you? Do you want milk in it? Milk in iced tea?
Why not?
I've never had that before.
Here. This is basically iced tea at this point.
That's not iced tea and your tea is bad.
Depends on the iced tea.
When I think of iced tea, I'm thinking like lemon or peach. Or raspberry. It's not something I would want milk in, I think. Maybe it's delicious. I haven't tried. Huh? Oh, no, I'll put some in when I read. Here you are.
Where did he get the milk from, though?
Out of the milk machine next to the canned machine. Hot black tea with milk is great, but cold?
Well, it just cooled down by now.
Tifa had the brilliant idea to make fresh hot tea before the stream when we were already complaining about how warm it is.
I wasn't going to, but then you were like, I want a green tea. So then I just made tea anyway, if I'm gonna boil water.
Yeah, and then I added a little bit of hot water to the tea bag to make the base for the green tea. And then I added cold water because, you know, it's warm.
Yeah, but I waited until it was room temperature with drinking it this time.
Tepid.
But it doesn't make a difference for me.
He handed me a cup of tea filled to the brim with ice as I looked on absently minded. I don't think I'm obligated to have a guy like this buy me a drink, but he did get it for me, so I'll thank him. Was ooishi-san just killing time? We didn't know each other well, but he still engaged me in conversation about all sorts of dumb things. When I thought back to how I talked with Shion, this seemed like a total disaster. Maebara-san, how much do you know about Sonozaki-san? Other than what I heard just now, nothing. Until then I hadn't known anything about either Mion or Shion other than the fact that they were interesting. I really did only just learn that she was the daughter of some prestigious family. The Sonozakis are a Yakuza group with this entire region under their thumb. Plus, her father is a high-ranked executive in the Yakuza Association.
Well, there we have it confirmed.
Did we write that down?
No,
we
because
didn't.
It's kind of an obvious thing.
Yeah.
Not a prediction, really, I want to say.
Kasai's character design kind of hit you in the face with that.
With how much power they have, it was.
Yeah. Did you know that? What? An executive?
Oh, that's what he stumbles over.
I know, right? Mafia, Yakuza, that's cool. But an executive level Yakuza?
Ew.
Ew, not even like lieutenant. I don't know the ranks in Yakuza. I'm sorry if any Yakuza are watching. I don't mean to make fun of you. Please don't kill me in my sleep. Have you ever seen where Shion-san lives? It's a very picture of a gang boss's house protected by high walls, barbed wire fence and security cameras. If you have a chance, you should go and visit her. Do I want to go to the place where the daughter of a high-ranking Yakuza lives?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
I want to say no.
Why?
I can tell you why, because let's imagine, for example, Tifa was the daughter of a high-ranking Yakuza. I don't want to get involved with that world.
But you already are.
But I don't want to be, like, now that I know, I don't want to be involved with that.
But I think it's now too late.
But I don't want to be involved farther than that.
They already know your face. They know where you live. Their driver even dropped you off.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb, wasn't it?
I don't think they needed to drop you off to know that.
So in chapter 2, is Keiichi gonna get murderized by the Sonozaki clan? She mentioned Mion being a successor, but to a Yakuza group. No, not at all, not at all. A boring old Yakuza group isn't the only thing Mion Sonozaki will inherit. He's inheriting the Sonozaki family itself. No, leave it to you to mull over what exactly that means. You can't just drop things like that. Like, that's like a verbal atomic bomb in a conversation. I just go, you figure it out by yourself. What the hell? Ooishi-san had spoken lightly about all of this from start to finish, but what he was saying wasn't light in the least. It was abrupt and unbelievable. Also, new drinking or workout game: every time Tifa yawns, do a push-up.
You'll be buff in a month.
You'll be either really buff or dead after the stream, I feel like.
That could also be.
If Mion-san wanted to, she could kill someone in the middle of a street and still cover it up. Not only would witnesses not show up, but she'd pressure on the police too. Mion would never kill someone. She wouldn't. I'm just speaking hypothetically. No, you don't. You're insinuating that the reason they were late this morning and hungover is because they probably celebrated making somebody get fried inside of a barrel and then driven outside of the city limits. Your name, it was Ooishi-san, right? Yes, that's right. Then, Ooishi-san, whatever family Mion comes from, it doesn't change the fact that she's the best friend I could ever have, and I'm proud of that. I don't appreciate people speaking ill of her. I let my quiet anger show through my gaze as I stared at him. Of course, I could never seem to tell what he was thinking, so I didn't know if it had any effect. If you, Tifa, were the daughter, I'm just trying to put this into perspective, because Keiichi is pissed about the fact that Ooishi is speaking negatively about his friends, which at face value is very sweet. But we're talking about the freaking Yakuza.
Yeah, but what it all implies might not be sinking through yet, and it's like, oh, it's Mion, she would never do these things.
Yeah, I guess. Then, let me be frank. If Mion-san was suspected of a handful of incidents, what would you think? Suspected incidents? You can't just say terrible stuff like that on a whim. Then it would be a misunderstanding, of course. Mion may say some dangerous things, but she's not the kind of person who would do something so awful. That time I befriended the daughter of a Yakuza boss. Yeah, it happens all the time. Sometimes you don't even realize.
Chances are high.
Where are we going with this?
Well, now we're having the conversation that in chapter 1 we had in his car.
Maebara-san, keep your voice down. We're in a library. Ooishi-san shushed me, but in a state of heightened excitement as I was, I wouldn't be calmed so easily. Please, calm down. As I said before, the Sonozaki family holds a lot of power in this region, for better or worse. So if anything happens, they would immediately be suspect. I'd appreciate it if you understood that. Well, I know what ooishi-san is trying to say. Combining it with what Shion told me before, the Sonozaki family is huge and controls everything from Hinamizawa to Okinomiya. Mion, meanwhile, is its successor, who apparently holds strong influence over the entire family. Still, that's all. That's the only reason they're suspecting her. Keiichi, I know you're 15 and like stuff, and you have the hots for at least one of the twin sisters, and like I get that. But please.
Yeah, but neon, friend, teenager, innocent. Like, why would you suspect her just because she's from a wealthy family?
Yeah, of course. Why would you suspect that? Yakuza bad? No way.
They are the good guys.
How can she be real if my Blinus tells me she isn't? Hot people don't do things like that. I'm just doing my job here. Not to doubt Mion-san of anything, but to clear up suspicions surrounding her. Please, think of it like that. He could take a dog out of a meat truck.
I think everyone can take a dog out of a meat truck.
Yeah, just ask it kindly. Please, dog, follow me outside of his meat truck.
No, you said take, not talk.
Oh, he could talk a dog out of a meat truck. He was the definition of a shrewd, unfair adult. And at this point, he began to think that it was no coincidence I'd met him. Ooishi-san, do you need something from me? Yes, I do. Keiichi Maebara-san. He answered in an absent tone of voice. Mion's being suspected of something, and you came to hear from a friend of hers, me. Is that it? No, that isn't it. I didn't come to talk to a friend of Mion Sonozaki-san. I came here to talk to Keiichi Maebara-san. It would probably have bothered you had I visited your house. To me? What do the police want with me? Having realized this faked coincidental meeting had me as its target, my mood immediately turned foul. You don't need to be so tense. Calm down and just answer a few questions. Am I being questioned? That's called a chat with a guy you happen to run into. Ooishi-san freely suggested that I relax. And that set behind his eyes was a light which I could only see sometimes, that was sharp as a hawk. If I tried in vain to run away, he might actually take me in and bring me to an interrogation room or something.
Vain, you said?
Vain. Yes, what?
I was just thinking of veiny potatoes.
Oh my god. But veiny potatoes needs to be spelled with like that Danish A-E kind of thing, so it can be read as veiny potatoes and veiny.
Oh, then you can put to it what you want.
Yeah,
I like that. That
it's a choose your own meaning kind.
Everyone can put its own spin to veiny potatoes.
I hope my veiny potato pics never leak on the internet. What even is this game anymore? That was an undoubtedly unpleasant thought. I mean, yeah. You had a roaring good time at the Watanagashi festival last night, didn't you? Don't beat around the bush, please. I can't do small talk right now. Last night, during the festival.
Here it comes.
Did you see Jiro Tomitake-san and Mio Takano-san? I could plainly feel myself give a start. Where did I put those pictures? Oh, here they are. He opened a small notebook and removed 2 photographs. I didn't have to look. Well, who knows? I might have seen them around. I don't remember. I was asked the same question for the second time today. I gave the same answer for the second time too. Your memories are blurry? You couldn't have possibly been drinking or anything. Here too, I got the same answer as I had from Mion. I realized he wasn't taking my vague reply well. Why is he asking me the same thing Mion did? The dark feelings I had nearly forgotten due to my conversation with Shion came rushing back in a hurry. We snuck into the sacred ritual storehouse, a punishable act. It was on a tiny impulse. While it may not count for much now, I do feel sorry about it.
Oh?
I'll ask you again. Did you see Jiwa Tomitake-san and Mio Takano-san at the festival last night? His tone was soft, but there was a dreadfulness in his voice, clearly different from the first time he asked. I'm scared. That was exactly how I felt. Even if you repeat the question, my answer won't change. I don't really remember. There wasn't any better answer I could give him. I didn't have the balls to say I didn't see them, nor the courage to admit I had. I see. I just thought that maybe I'd get a different answer if I asked the second time.
That's exactly the words Mion used.
Yeah.
Word for word.
Yeah. That's weird.
That seems too much of a coincidence, but I also don't have an explanation on why that might be.
It's almost like they had the conversation maybe over breakfast because dun 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 Oishi-san is her grandfather.
Nah.
I'm too scared to look Oishi-san in the eyes. I'll change the question. Come, Maebara-san. Relax, relax. Oishi-san grabbed my shoulders and squeezed them as if they're trying to give me a massage. Bluetooth, Mion can't shapeshift. That's one hell of a cosplay of a police officer she's pulling off right now. It mostly just hurt though. Still, why would he ask the same things as Mion? If he's asking the same things, then the next question must be... On the same night of a festival, did you see Shion Sonozaki-san?
Clutcher, clutcher, clutcher.
I wondered what sound that was, and when I looked down I saw that it was the unmelted ice in the cup I was gripping in my hands. My hands were trembling, rocking the ice back and forth, realizing that I hastily put the remaining ice in my mouth and crunched down on it. That's totally not awkward, like... I don't know. Oh wait, I have to have something in my mouth. Sorry, I may have seen her, but well, you know, she looks like not Leon. I might have just mistaken the two.
Nice try.
I give everything to my lines, people. Everything. But that can't be. Jack, please. What do you mean this is serious? Keiichi said he put the ice in his mouth, crunching down on it. Clearly he must have had something in his mouth.
He obviously would have swallowed that, but I do appreciate...
No.
Of course.
No, you don't move, I move.
But I do appreciate you trying to get into it.
Because trust me, when I was 15, if I was in this situation, I would like try to swallow the ice, but I wouldn't be able to. And then it'd be like... something like that. Suddenly, Oishi-san grabbed both my shoulders and hunched down to give me a level stare. This must be what it's like to be a deer in the headlights. I want to look away, but I can't. This is the first time I've experienced such a piercing stare. Mion-san and Shion-san wear completely different clothing. You wouldn't mistake the two so easily, I would think. Maebara-san. His voice was harsh. Harsh, the same as when Mion said it. I could feel my heartbeat quickening. When I realized he could feel it through their hands on my shoulders, I got even more scared. Why are Mion and Oishi-san both asking about last night? Was sneaking into the warehouse so bad? Shouldn't have let Takano-san talk me into it. Tomitake-san casually said to check it out too, so... Even Shion, if she hadn't encouraged me... No, I understood. I was the one who was at fault here. I shouldn't have let my curiosity get the better of me. I shouldn't have gone into the Forbidden Storehouse.
Okay. Ooishi-san, I think that's our cue to get out of here.
A young man wearing a suit came into the lounge. From the way he held himself, I knew immediately that he was Ooishi-san's subordinate. Oh, so it is. Closing time already? I hadn't realized it until he said something. The jingle and announcements telling patrons the library was closed had started playing without me realizing it. I was so irritated, so overwhelmed that I couldn't even hear it. Well then, Maebara-kun, we're out of time, so allow me to take my leave. I'd like to talk with you more about this at your leisure when we have more time. This isn't a joke. If I never saw him again, it would be too soon. Ooishi-san followed his subordinate and left the lounge behind him. However, he spun back around. For good old Columbo. Oh, one more thing.
He's gonna give this card.
Oh, right, Maebara-san. What is it? Those two questions I asked you before. You don't remember well enough to answer either of them, correct? Right. Just so you know, you saw them all yesterday. You were walking along, the four of you, having quite a pleasant time. Near the stone steps. I saw you with my own eyes. I caught my breath and my heart seemed like it was about to stop. What a detestable person. He knew, and he was testing me. We'll meet again. Have a good year. I sat there like a rock, unmoving, until I could no longer hear the clacking sounds of her footsteps. Okay, so real quick. Chapter 1, Keiichi Maebara goes to Hinamizawa, becomes super paranoid, triggers his two best friends to become murderous goblins.
Sort of.
They drug him, he kills them in a fit of rage and kills himself. Chapter 2, Keiichi Maebara follows his puberty instincts and becomes a makeshift member of a yakuza for the power of love.
Not yet.
Come on. Come on.
He was trying to save his own ass there.
I didn't mean to get into organized crime. I just didn't want to get into trouble when the nice policeman grabbed my shoulders really hard.
Basically. Yeah.
How can you yawn at this moment? Where's the yakuza?
I can yawn at every moment.
That's a true thing. I was on my way back home. The cries of the Higurashi accentuated the already lonely evening. More time had passed than I thought. The orange of a dusky sky was being chased down, little by little, by an indigo color approaching from the east. Exhausted from the slow climb towards Hinamizawa, without even noticing, I'd gotten off my bicycle and was pushing it uphill. See, us taking forever to get through the game is actually canon.
Oh, it's a headlight.
I don't understand any of this. No one had told me to my face that I'd done something wrong. No, in fact, it might have been much easier on me that way. What happened yesterday really was just my curiosity. It really was no more than a quiet prank, no more than having the courage to cross at a red light as long as you did it with other people. The storehouse for ritual implements, hallowed ground only accessible to the family of a priest. For sure, I'd seen terrifying things that I'd never imagined would be there. Thinking on it now, though, it didn't matter what was stored away inside. It didn't make the wrong I had committed any more right. What the four of us did? Leon seemed to know about it. For some reason, even the police were trying to learn what the four of us did. Did we do something so bad? Really? It doesn't matter how wrong it was. I did something wrong. It was nothing more than that, and yet I couldn't accept it. I didn't apologize to Mion or ooishi-san. All I did was shield myself from ambiguities. I did something wrong yesterday. I set foot into a forbidden storehouse for a little bit of mischief. I'll forget everything I saw in there. I won't ever do something like that again either. I'm sorry. If I apologized like that, would they forgive me? The suddenly cool evening air left no room for such sentiment, however, as it mercilessly chilled my feet, urging me to head home as soon as possible. In the end, the evening air was correct. If I trudged along such an isolated road, regrets would pile on top of regrets, but nothing would change. Let's go home. I'll go home, go to my room, put on my favorite music or something, and go to bed. That might sound plain and boring, but it's probably the strongest I've felt all day. Now that I've made a decision, there's no point in dawdling in a place like this. I sat back on my bike. I pushed hard on the pedals. I rapidly advanced forward. Steadily gained speed. The wind was cutting and mercilessly cold, but it actually felt good, as if it were softly punishing me. Hit me harder, wind daddy.
Don't know why I thought we would still run into Shion, but I forgot we're having a phone call.
But we're still having that phone call.
Yeah.
I didn't eat much dinner before excusing myself early and returning to my bedroom. My mom called me from downstairs.
Keiichi, you have a call. It's from Sonozaki-san.
Sonozaki? Was it Mion? No, it was Shion. I just remembered. She'd had something she wanted to tell me today. Ooishi-san had interrupted us, so she didn't get the chance. Shion had said she'd call tonight.
I'm gonna ignore once more that he could have just picked up the phone in his room instead of now going down and then taking it back up.
It's a toy phone, Tifa.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Is that you, Shion?
Hello. Ran into a bit of trouble today, didn't we?
She said it so plainly that I got a bit annoyed. She was the one who left me there and ran.
Don't say that. I gave you the signal to run away with me, didn't I? You just sat there looking dazed, Keiichi.
I wasn't dazed. All of a sudden you left me there, and after that I had to put up with that Ooishi guy for ages.
Don't complain to me about it.
I can't believe she passed it off like that. She looks just like Mion, and yet inside she's this different? I got a little irritated at myself when I realized I was somewhere in my mind hoping for the same reaction I would get from Mion, even though she's a different person. Sorry. Next time I run away first thing and leave you there.
Hey, it's ladies first.
Shion laughed refreshingly. When I heard her voice, I realized that she wasn't really that angry or anything. It was just as she said. The cause of my temper was because it was my own fault for not leaving immediately. I'll stop blaming it on others. Blaming it on others would be... Anyway, you had something to tell me, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, if you already know, then it's not something that bears repeating. Do you already know?
Shion lowered her voice suddenly as if she were glancing around. I had no idea what I could already know.
Takano and Tomitake are dead.
Sorry, but I have no clue what you're talking about. At least give me a hint.
So, that means you don't know.
She seemed to take my stupid sounding question as evidence. However, her voice didn't sound disappointed or exasperated in the slightest.
Actually, it's about last night during the Watanagashi festival.
My entire body jolted as I was assailed by a terrible feeling. Is Shion going to ask the same thing?
Hello? Keiichi? Are you listening?
Yeah, I am. What about last night?
The four of us went in there, right?
She didn't beat around the bush. Whether or not I wanted to admit it, it was the actual honest truth, and I couldn't act like it hadn't happened.
Then after that, we walked away together and then went our separate ways near the stone stairs, right? Takano-san and Tomitake-san went to the stream and you stayed there, Keiichi. I went over to see some relatives.
Yeah. Why do you ask?
We won't make any progress if we keep asking each other questions, so let me ask this question first, okay?
You mean, did I see Tomitake-san and Takano-san last night?
Huh? Oh, yes. Did you see the two of them after that?
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't surprised. This is the third time I've been asked this question today. Why? Why? What the hell was going on? Why? Why are you asking me that?
No, Kei-chan, I'm asking the question. Please answer me.
Did you, Shion? If you answer first, then I'll answer. My shabby response betrayed how scared and small I felt now after everything that had happened today. Shion didn't say anything for a few moments. Just as I was beginning to think I'd really put my foot in my mouth with that response, she finally answered me.
Of course I didn't see them. My relatives were with me and they can vouch for that.
I didn't see them either. People can vouch for me too, like Mion, Reina, and everyone else. Now that we knew our answers matched, she let out a sigh that sounded more relief than anything else.
Thank you for answering me honestly. Okay then, I'll tell you. Apparently, last night Takano-san and Tomitake-san died.
Alright.
I do wonder who was the one in the barrel, but we have two deaths.
Apparently. Sorry, Shion? What was that you just said?
Apparently last night, Takano-san and Tomitake-san died. Takano-san was found burned to death. Oh, that was Takano. Tomitake-san was... well, it looked like a suicide. I found out this morning.
Okay, now there's two murders. There still needs to be a unikakushi.
Yeah?
Wait, you... Which one is missing? Is it Mion or is it Shion? Somebody has to have gone missing. This is not a Watanagashi otherwise. The person that disappears is never found again. Maybe traces of him, but never the body.
That is true. I heard my dad talking to a relative on the phone about it.
Late last night, police car on its way back from festival security duty had discovered Tomitake-san laying in the middle of a road towards Okinomiya. He had clawed out his throat and died.
Okay, so that detail is the same.
What? He clawed out his own throat? That bright, cheerful Tomitake-san committed suicide. That can't possibly be right.
The police did an autopsy. He did it with his own fingernails. He scratched at his throat so hard that he ruptured his blood vessels and bled out. He died in a pool of his own blood, that's what they said.
I've never heard of such an insane suicide. You can't just scratch open your own throat like that. I realized I was yelling too loudly, so I lowered the force I was putting into my voice. I didn't want my parents to hear me, so I switched to the cordless phone and ran up to my room. Sorry for yelling. So? Was Takano-san... was that a suicide too?
In her case, it's a little unclear.
Takano-san's body was found in the mountains of Gifu Prefecture. Employees at a rest stop nearby reported to the police late night that they could see flames in the mountains. Firefighters dispatched there were the first ones to find her. An autopsy concluded that it was the burned corpse of a half-naked female. They initially considered the body beyond recognition, but directly after that was a request for dental comparison from the prefectural police station in Okinomiya, and the results concluded that it was Mio Takano. The cause of death wasn't confirmed, but it was highly likely to have been a homicide, since she was in her undergarments and her clothes were nowhere in the area. The clothing missing matches with the story of somebody being swallowed by the swamp, though.
As in?
One of the last Watanagashis had a story of person died, and then the wife, I think it was, went missing, and they found articles of her clothing near the swamp.
Okay. But
So at
here
least
we
the
have...
partial undressing of a victim matches with a previous story.
I wanna say not connected.
But I don't think that's the only Kakushi. Because...
No, because she's found.
That wouldn't make sense because she's been found.
And according to the tip, found or placed in such a way that she also would be found.
Yeah, very visible. At the top of a mountain, a fire, yeah.
The oil drum had fallen over, so it's also possible she burned herself to death.
What mental gymnastics are they doing? What?
Well, she was having a fire in there, and then the thing fell over, and then she caught on fire.
And then somehow, as she tripped, and as she was falling, her shirt flew off, and her skirt did, and one sock, and then she fell head first into the fetal position, into the burning drum.
Hate it when it happens.
Yeah, usually, especially with guys who survive and go to the ER, they also usually fall on a toy or something. They're competing with your gold medal. I'd rather they don't, because it's bad enough when I do that.
But I found the barrel a bit weird. If it fell down...
Why would she be inside?
So it fell down with her still in it. I mean, if she's like stuffed in a barrel, it makes sense that she didn't...
I think they're just making up things. It couldn't possibly have been suicide. If you're going to die, there are plenty of easier ways, aren't there? This can't be suicide.
That's what I think. It's unthinkable that Tomitake-san would kill himself too.
After the two of us rattled on at each other, there was a silence as we paused to catch our breaths. And as we calmed our nerves, right then I understood what Shion's story actually meant.
I think it will end up being Oyashiro-sama's curse. We all did more than enough to deserve it after all.
Deserve? You've got to be kidding. It's not like Shion wanted to see it with me. I just went along with her. I tried to say that, but I fell silent. Nothing would come of me blaming others. It didn't matter how much everyone else encouraged me. I could have put my foot down. I lost to my own half-assed sense of adventure and agreed to go in with them. Yes, it was my fault and no one else's. Shion, last night when we snuck into Virtual Storehouse, did you predict things would turn out this way?
Of course not. I mean, I thought it was pretty risky, but I never even dreamed something like this could happen.
Shion's words were probably her true feelings. She knew she would get in trouble if we were caught, but that was the thrill of this little adventure. It was the same for me.
Besides that, Kei-chan, think about it for a moment. Didn't Oyashiro-sama's curse turn out a little strange this year?
It was already plenty strange seeing how Tomitake-san and Takano-san died like that. Given all that, what could possibly be stranger?
I mean, that they found two corpses. Remember what I said? Every other year, one person would die and one person would disappear. This year is the first time two people have been found dead.
That may be true, but that's not a huge deal, is it?
It is, Kei-chan. Think about it harder. Listen, if two people died because of Oyashiro-sama's curse, then in order to quell Oyashiro-sama's anger, two people would need to be sacrificed.
Is that how it works? So what? Tomitake and Takano-san died, so now two people are going to go missing this year? I don't understand why, but when I said that, I felt my spine freeze. I also just realized another thing.
That it doesn't happen at the same time?
No. Who else died in chapter 1? Oh, no, sorry, who else went missing in chapter 1?
Takano. Tomitake was the one that died.
No, who else? If we're applying the logic that chapter 2 is establishing to chapter 1, in chapter 1, Tomitake-san dies during the night of the Watanagashi, the same way that eventually Keiichi will. or would. So, if the way they die from clawing their own throat out is the same, I would assume it's fair to say, if that detail is the same, the reason behind them having to die that way is also the same, so that's part of the curse. The pairing, Tomitake-san is dead, suicide, Takano-san has gone missing.
Yeah, but Keiichi wasn't on the night of the festival, so the same
Keiichi
rules
died
might not
the
apply.
same way, and I would imagine there needs to be a pair for that as well. So who went missing? Unless that's just a fluke.
I don't think... I can't say it's a fluke, because we're not even at the end of chapter 2 yet. But Keiichi didn't die on the night of the festival, so we also can't say if the same rules even apply.
Yeah.
Because the rules so far have been for the night of the Watanagashi.
But chapter 2 establishes that the Watanagashi, the way it is done now, is just a show. A Watanagashi technically is that somebody in the village decides, oh, I want human meats, and then they do the thing.
That is true. It wasn't only once a year back
yes,
then.
So it doesn't specifically need that one night. It could be a coincidence that somebody decides, oh, well, the Watanagashi is happening anyway, so I might as well get a snack in.
That is true, but who else disappears in chapter 1 is not a question we can answer right now.
Yes, that's correct.
But that is something new we might learn in this chapter.
Also, one more thing. With how the story develops, is it gonna keep multiplying? Or like adding one victim? Because then in chapter 3, 3 people die, chapter 4, 4 people die.
Nah, I don't think we're gonna go that far.
Keep escalating. At some point the whole village is suddenly gone. They all snack each other. When I said that, I felt my spine freeze.
I don't think anyone's been confirmed missing yet. I think that those 2 people have yet to disappear.
Shion, like me, was probably getting the same feeling crawling down her back. 2 people have yet to disappear. Shion didn't answer. I couldn't say any more than that either. A chill crept in through my clothes and tried to wrap into a fist around my heart. Cold hands feeling about on my chest. Neither of us could say anything. Tomitake-san opened the lock and he died. Takano-san exposed the ritual storehouse and she died. If 2 more people were to be sacrificed, then they would be none other than the ones who entered with them, none other than us. No. This has got to be a joke. I wanted so much for her to pass this off as a joke even now. That, though, was such an incredibly difficult and selfish request. If Tomitake-san and Takano-san had died in a common way, like a car accident, I could tell myself it was a coincidence. Instead, he clawed out his own throat and she burned to death, drowned in oil in the mountains. The 2 deaths were so out of the ordinary that I couldn't possibly dismiss it as mere coincidence. It was as if, in exchange for sneaking into the ritual storehouse, there must be someone punishing us, some sort of cruel will working behind the scenes. Even so, I still didn't want to accept that terrifying truth. If I did, then I would have to acknowledge that a horrible crisis was growing near for Shion and I. That's why I argued against it. I argued knowing I was running away. In the first place, it's not even in the newspaper, is it? Such a monstrous incident would be all over the newspaper and television. Magazine writers would flood the village too, thinking it would make for an interesting story.
Of course it's not getting reported by the media. That's how it was in the past too.
Who could pay off the media? Oh yes, your family, Shion. When the incidents occurred for the 3rd year in a row, there were some third-rate magazines that sniffed out the story and ran issues full of gossip columns about Hinamizawa. Fearing that the region would develop a negative stigma, they negotiated with the prefecture and the police. Since last year, it became a big conspiracy when no information about the incident was allowed to be leaked to the media.
Also, for a place that doesn't like foreigners, isn't
Outsiders.
that outsiders? I mean, true.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be perfect? If you let these things leak and there's a negative thing on the village, like, oh, every outsider that comes here gets murdered and killed, like, would you then not stay away? Which is kind of what they want.
No, people would come there more because of that. It's the 20th century, Tifa.
What do you call them? Trauma tourists? No?
Yeah, the murder tourists or whatever here.
Yeah, okay, I guess. Fair enough.
The non-believers would appear in droves.
Fair enough. I hear the elders and the top brass from the Sonozaki family put all the pressure they could on the police.
I call that. Then you mean their deaths are going to be dealt with in total secrecy?
That's not a call that. That was obvious from the start.
Why didn't you say it then?
You called someone is working in there and is actively investigating who went in there. The fact that the police is being pressured by the Sonozaki family, we already mentioned in chapter 1.
Oh, you could just let me have that.
No.
I'll claim it anyway.
That's how it is. Of course the police are investigating it. That's being performed in secret too. So I hear the investigation itself is very restricted in what it can and can't do. You could essentially say they're interfering with a police investigation.
His story was unbelievable. People died and yet they don't publicize it and deal with everything in secret?
If we break it down further, it means that no matter who dies on the night of Watanagashi, it won't go public.
That's the biggest pile of bullshit I've ever heard. Just like Tifa won't let you have a thing.
Yeah. No.
I don't know why. What did I ever do to you that makes you act like that?
Let me have a look. Wait. What was it again? Oh yeah, I remember. I remember now what it was. How did I forget? How did I forget? Why?
One day I'll find a way to set it up so that you cannot use commands, Tifa.
Kei-chan, before I said how the villagers could be the ones carrying out Oyashiro-sama's curse, that's what I mean. At some point a tradition was created here in Hinamizawa, where every year you're allowed to kill someone on the night of Watanagashi under the guise of it being Oyashiro-sama's curse. But shouldn't more people die then? Because then it would be like, what's that movie, The Purge?
The Purge.
Where everyone goes like, oh, I'm gonna kill someone in name of the curse, and then suddenly there's 10 people dead.
One freebie a year. Yeah, but that's like a raffle.
Oh, it's like a bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo night, like a week, no, let's say a month before the Watanagashi, there's a bingo night, and the winner gets to prepare the murder.
Everybody puts their name in a big pile, and then they go, Sonozaki-san!
Woo, yay!
And the problem is when everybody claps because 90% of the people there are Sonozakis. Yeah. Well, if we also go with the eating of the intestines and whatnot, maybe it really is like a ritualistic, cannibalistic thing, and the top brass, as in the Sonozaki family, does decree who gets to get their snack on this year.
I was actually thinking at the after party where they drink and still eat.
Yeah.
They have the rituals.
Exactly.
They have the ritual snack as a family.
Yes, exactly.
That makes sense.
Isn't that what I said last time too? Like the reason why she's hungover is because they maybe had alcohol, maybe they also were drugged to make the whole situation bearable for the kids. Which is all fucked up, but still.
Especially the heir to the family does not need to be drugged for this.
A 17-year-old girl, yeah, maybe she still needs to be eased into it.
Nah, no way.
Tifa would be sitting there like, intestines. Like as a 6-year-old already. I want the snacks.
More
when
like
can we eat them?
White meat kind of girl. Like I prefer like chicken breast.
Oh my god, imagine if...
I wouldn't eat the
If
intestines.
Tifa is the head of a Sonozaki family and she is in charge of making the cannibalist shit happen. And when they get the victim, they bring them there, they do the whole thing. You know, they gut them, they cut off their ass for bacon.
Like fillet them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this fork with the two things. Like,
and when Tifa goes,
I can't imagine.
It's too fatty, I want somebody more lean. And then Kasai has to get dressed again, go outside, run down another villager and bring them in until Tifa gets her not a dark meat.
I wouldn't do that, but the bingo does sound fun.
What? People still die. How is that fun?
I'm talking about just the bingo.
Also,
I have an old soul. I love bingo.
thank you. When you said I have an old soul, I didn't know where you were going with it in the context of this game. Also, why couldn't they just take the takoyaki guy? He was selling fake takoyaki at full price.
Well, do you know where he is right now?
Good point.
Maybe they did take him.
Fair enough. When someone dies on the night of Watanagashi, it turns into the curse of Oyashiro-sama. The curse turns into the serial murder incidents. In order to avoid exacerbating the negative stigma surrounding Hinamizawa, those incidents are dealt with in secret. That's insane! Dead and missing people turn up every year. However bad the stigma gets, the police have to draw the line somewhere, don't they?
You could say the incidents happening every year is mysterious, but the police can get the job done when they need to. After all, the incidents always get resolved individually. It doesn't end up being a string of incidents, you know? It just so happens that something unfortunate happens on the night of Watanagashi every year. That's all it turns into.
Most of the criminals responsible for the original dismemberment were arrested. The last one managed to get and stay away, but the events were totally exposed and elucidated, so it was, in essence, resolved. The damn supporting couple who died in an accident on the second year, that was an accidental death, plain and simple. They made a lot of investigations into the possibility of it having been a homicide, but they didn't turn up anything. It ended up as an accident. It was resolved. On the third year, the priest fell ill and passed away. There were doctors present at the hospital at his deathbed, and they all had trustworthy medical certificates. They even did an autopsy. It concluded that it wasn't a homicide. That was resolved, too. On the fourth year, the sister-in-law of a damn supporting couple was murdered. The criminal was an abnormal man with a history of regular psychostimulant usage.
Also, you thought...
What was that about not using drugs?
Yeah, I don't think the family itself uses drugs to get over the fact that they need to eat someone.
I think the whole cult thing being together and eating people is the breeding ground for also incorporating drugs into the whole thing.
I mean, that could be, yeah. But
Even
I
if they just
disagreed.
have glue or something.
I disagreed with the reasoning for it. I don't think they need to.
Abnormal man, code word for fucked up junkie. Yeah, I get that. But my line of thinking is, what if he was just propped up as an abnormal junkie? When in fact, basically everybody involved with the ritualistic eating of the victims is doing that while high on drugs.
But he had a history of...
Yes, technically all of them do. He just got addicted and did it more than the others. It doesn't mean the others don't also do drugs. Do I need to remind you that at the end of chapter 1, Shmion came in and went like, pokey pokey with the druggy wuggies, and went like...
Yeah, but I don't think the family necessarily is on it. I'm not saying drugs don't play a part in it, because obviously we have seen parts with drugs.
Maybe human ass tastes best when you are high as a kite. Or intestines have a certain je ne sais quoi when you're hopped up in LSD. I don't know.
It reminds me, you thought Ooishi was the one that is the missing person in the dismemberment thing.
At this point I wouldn't be shocked, yeah.
Because I think it's Mion.
Potentially, yes.
Write that down. You can write down Ooishi. It's comparison.
What?
To compare.
As a comparison. As a comparison.
To counter.
Tifa is trying to sound French. Croissant.
I'm too tired for this.
So what do I write down?
That I think Mion is the last person missing in the dismemberment murder.
One of those
Mion.
Comparison. A comparison is actually an apartment of comparable size in Paris. You know? Comparison. It just makes sense. Tifa is just speaking 5D chess to us. Mion is the missing murderer of the initial death.
Just say of the dismemberment.
Yeah, you write it down then.
Yeah, it's open.
You are the laziest part of this stream. If you don't like the notes I'm taking, you fix it yourself.
Yeah,
you have the technology.
I'm just giving you something to make it easier to recognize.
Feedback rejected. Thought at the end of the one Jet Li fights on a prison perimeter to establish his dominance. For all we know,
we're gonna fight on
first
the
of all, I really didn't like that movie. But it seemed weird to me. But at the same time, maybe that's gonna be the ending of Higurashi. Keiichi kung fu fighting with all of Hinamizawa on top of a pyramid, trying to establish the Maebara clan.
Everybody is eating humans. Bow.
Nom 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 nom. Why did our brains instantly agree on the nom 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 nom?
It was a tasty human. Do, 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 do. And we added some nice and torture. La 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 la.
Do you now know why I made those banners back then, Tifa?
No. We can't go cannibalism because cannibalism is now part of the main story.
I don't want your brain cells anymore. It's too late. You've already been infected.
Can't take it back. We are now one hive mind.
Later tonight, tomorrow, whenever you're gonna have your next kebab, you're gonna be like, oh, this is really good. Nom 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 nom. And you're gonna remember this, and then you'll feel bad. And then you're still gonna enjoy the rest of your kebab because you should, and it's not the kebab's fault.
You know, a donor setting would work on a Watanagashi after party.
I don't know how common kebabs are in Japan, especially not in the 1980s.
Fair enough.
Don't want donor for me. I'm not ruining it, I'm enhancing your eating experience.
To be fair, is there anything that can ruin donor?
Yeah, bad donor. But even then you just get a new one until you get a good one.
The idea of donor. It doesn't really matter what you watch, what you see.
Tasty things that you can eat at any given time. So.
Yeah, exactly.
He confessed that he thought Oyashiro-sama's curse was so interesting he wanted to try it out. The criminal died of an accident while in prison, so this incident was essentially resolved as well. That's right. None of the incidents had any relation to another and each was independently resolved.
So then, why does an unfortunate coincidence occur every year on the night of the Watanagashi? You can try and say it's a string of related incidents, but they're not related. Yet every year someone always dies and someone always disappears.
That sound effect though. The story Takano-san told me on the day before, during the setup, now that the curse really had occurred this year, I couldn't just laugh it off. then does that mean it'll come for us too? Just like how one person dies and one disappears every year, are you saying we'll be taken along with Tomitake-san and Takano-san and erased too? My lips had at some point become completely dry, and just saying that was difficult. Shion didn't respond. Her silence, however, was the clearest form of confirmation she could give me. I mean, sure, we went somewhere we shouldn't have, but we were just looking, right? We didn't steal anything or take anything out, and we didn't tell anyone that we looked, right? I was already regretting having committed such a wrong. Even so, was it really so bad that Tomitake-san and Takano-san deserved such cruel deaths? Besides, I didn't care about anything I saw in that at all. Takano-san was the only one getting so happy over it, wasn't she? Takano-san was the only one at fault. I don't have anything to do with this. I'm not interested, I'm not involved, I don't give a shit about what was in there. I knew saying so wouldn't solve anything. I could feel myself and my cold self, the innermost depths of my heart, disgusted at my pointless howling. However, my emotions had broken through the dam and I couldn't stop them anymore. I didn't have any interest in any of this from the start, damn it. All I wanted to do was watch Rika-chan's performance. You were the ones who pulled me away from that, weren't you, Shion? I don't give a rat's ass whether these two were trying to steal something or tried to meet up with secretly or whatever. That's right, you're the one who made me go in there in the first place, Shion. You were, Kei-chan, you need to see what's inside, and you convinced me and then pulled me in. Why the hell did you do that? I didn't have anything to do with this. What will you do? What are you going to do, damn it? How are you going to take responsibility for this, huh? Hey, are you listening?
Battery ran out. Click.
Nah, fuck that. I didn't know her at all. I never met Crazy Lady. But she was hot, though.
Unfortunately, peanut butter.
I don't think peanut butter covers this. Without any warning, the phone cut off with a soft sound of a receiver being slammed down. Shion was just as terrified as I was. I just said some really self-centered things. My riled up emotions disappeared as if they'd never existed, and in their place surged waves of deep regret at having run my mouth so irresponsibly. I could try to call out Shion's name from beyond the disconnected phone, but it was too late. What have I done? Shion was only trying to tell me as much as she could about this thing about to descend upon us. As for me, I could only whine like a child about it. You're 15, you are good. You know, it's even at 35, I would probably have a very same reaction to it. This, by the way, is one of the many reasons I don't feel the need to go into like the catacombs under buildings and stuff. What if we get cursed?
No, we won't.
How do you know?
Because I know.
Are you Oyashiro? I've already cursed you, Jack. I went to call her back, but then I remembered she lived in Okinomiya. I didn't know her phone number. But he would know her phone number if she lived in Hinamizawa? Since I had declared to Mion that I hadn't seen Shion last night, I couldn't just call Mion and ask her for Shion's phone number. I was too scared. I couldn't even call her back. I was stricken with hopeless regret. I returned the receiver to its stand and I simply prayed that Shion would call me back again. Please, Shion. Calm down and call me again.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hello, this is Maebara. I swept up the receiver as though it wouldn't go through if I didn't grab it at that exact moment. Is this the Maebara residence? Excuse me for the late call. Okay, you can redo the line.
Kimiyoshi.
Yeah, I think he's one of the police people you did, so... No, this is Patrick.
Is this a call you think that's gonna be long?
No, but I want to get through it.
Well, not if it's long.
I'm long.
Okay, I'll give it 5 minutes.
He's the other cop who isn't Kumagai.
Thank you. Is this the Maebara residence? Excuse me for the late call. I'm Kimiyoshi. Is this the head of the household? Oh.
It was the voice of a girl who clearly wasn't Shion. All my hopes rushed out of me. No, it isn't. If you need Dad, I'll go call him. I went to put the receiver back down, but the caller stopped me hurriedly.
Should I stick with it?
You could just clear your throat and speak in a different voice.
Oh, no. If he's busy, then it's fine. This may be a strange question, but is my old man paying you a visit? My old man?
No.
Ooishi?
Nobody's here at the moment.
I see. Again, I apologize for calling you so late at night. Goodbye. That was random. Clack.
I don't know who that was, but what if Shion tried to call while I was on the phone? I felt bubbling with egotistic anger. Hey, wait. Give it a break, Keiichi Maebara. These are the selfish emotions that made Shion mad at me, aren't they? The more I thought about it, the more I thought that Shion had given up hope in the short time since we had our conversation and didn't want to call anymore. Calm yourself, Keiichi Maebara. If Shion does call again, then first apologize in a calm voice. If you do it, then Shion should understand. However, no matter how long I waited, the phone didn't ring again that night. Okay. Also, my old man, does that mean Kimiyoshi is like the daughter or granddaughter of ooishi-san?
I would think so.
Oh, never mind. There we go. This was a short chapter. Want to still quickly do the tips?
Yeah, might as well finish it off.
I like how she needs to look to decide whether she's too tired.
I am too tired, but I was more calculating how long it would take.
Oh, this is an entirely different character you haven't met yet and likely you won't see again. Okay.
That makes it even more random. Go for the scrapbooks. We also have a vacation next week, so...
Found scrapbook
then
number
we have
6.
it cleared off. The significance of Watanagashi.
Watanagashi, a festival of hunting for sacrifices and feasting on them. While the festival itself is remarkable, it has come to be considered a form of entertainment as well. Perhaps it was because of a disparity between being both an egregious act and a form of entertainment that the perpetrators began to believe themselves transcended. However, I found some very interesting literature that appears to raise questions about that explanation. As with most oral traditions, it's not easily swallowed, but it does mention a few things that spark my interest. It's double funny because oral tradition not easily swallowed.
Didn't even click.
According to this literature, even the residents of Onigafuchi village felt fear towards this ritual. Women and children would grow pale and tremble, and those of weak constitution would vomit. But it's said that the feast, the dissection, was an obligatory viewing. This is an extremely curious tale. Until now, I'd thought that the residents of Onigafuchi village were fascinated by the Watanagashi ritual. They looked down on those vulgar, barbaric humans, cut them open like fish, and by eating them they reaffirmed their own holiness. At least that's what I thought. However, if what the villagers gained from this ritual was not fascination, but fear, then that would suggest the ritual meant something entirely different. There's a possibility that the executions were meant as warnings, encouraging the villagers to strictly follow religious precepts created by those with power for their own convenience. Like a thing the Sonozaki family would do to display their power in front of everybody? Onigafuchi village has been effectively ruled over by 3 old families called the Three Families. Without investigating the 3 families, I probably won't get any closer to the truth of Onigafuchi village. Sonozaki, Monozaki, and Tronozaki.
Well, which tree do we have? We have Sonozaki, one.
Sonozaki, Furude, and Maebara.
I'm guessing Satoko's family? What do they do?
Be dead?
No, that's Rika's family.
No, Satoko's as well. Her
the brother
Satoshi is gone and her parents are dead. With Rika, her grandfather died. So did the wife of him.
Yeah, but they make sense. They have a story.
From the scrapbook 7.
The three families.
Here we go. Okay. Sonozaki, Furude, and...
I forgot Satoko's last name.
Who do I go with the third one? Ryugu.
Who's Ryugu again?
Reina.
Oh, I forgot Reina, true.
Satoko Hojo, that was the name.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Nah, my guess, Sonozaki, Furude, Ryugu.
Well, one way to find out. The three families.
The three families refers to the three old families who effectively came to rule Onigafuchi village. To break it down, there was the Kimiyoshi family, the Furude family, and the Sonozaki family, and each of them still exists today.
Kimiyoshi?
Like the person we just spoke to on the phone, yes.
But wait, who does the old man refer to?
We don't know any Kimiyoshis.
No, but who was the old man that she referred to then? Because I thought it was Oishi.
Because we don't know any Kimiyoshis.
But Oishi doesn't make sense in this case.
No, Oishi had a different last name. I mean, not that he could have changed it.
Okay.
Or couldn't have changed it. But they don't have as much control as they did in the remote past. They still hold considerable influence today. The three families are considered by legend to be those in whom the blood of the swamp demons runs the thickest. The Kimiyoshi family. The Kimiyoshi family appears to have held great power as the head of the three families, but it doesn't have that kind of leadership today. The current mayor of the village, Kiichiro Kimiyoshi, is from this family. The fact that members of the Kimiyoshi family are elected as mayor every generation is thought to be a remnant of the old system. Of course, as no rival candidates appear, it doesn't change the fact that the Kimiyoshi family holds the mayoral office even though popular elections in the post-war era. Even through post-war elections.
Okay, so they have power, but it's more like a figure.
Sonozaki is going to be on top.
Figurehead.
The Furude family. The center of the village's faith since ancient times, the Furude clan has guarded the sole shrine dedicated to oyashiro-sama. They were worshipped as the only people to represent the voice of oyashiro-sama for a long time, but the family branched off after the war and lost most of its power. It now consists of only the main house. The main house, as well, presently consists of only one daughter, Rika Furude, so the lineage may end in this generation. There is apparently an old tradition of honoring females of the Furude family, so the only daughter, Rika, is the subject of much respect among the elderly of the village. The Sonozaki family. It's said that this family had a certain police-like role of protecting the religious precepts of Onigafuchi village.
Okay, so the military part?
They are in the police.
Yeah, I never doubted that. Why do you act like I'm doubting that?
Who said I was acting like that because of you?
You're like, oh, they're in the police, like I told you so.
Yeah, I can't be mad about that. I'm not allowed to have reactions to the story I'm being presented with, regardless of your opinion, thoughts, and feelings. This is not an exclamation mark Jack moment. This is Tifa getting mad that I'm reacting to the game. Or is this a version of Jack, but it should actually be Tifa, where you try to gaslight me?
No, he doesn't even get it. There's no saving Jack.
What the hell? What? Feels weird, doesn't it? I don't even know what I'm feeling right now because the situation doesn't make sense to me. Of the three families, their relatively weak position can be seen from me putting them here last. Of course, today the Sonozaki family is flourishing and the state of affairs among the three families has completely reversed. Even now, one could say that they are in control of Hinamizawa. The three families conferring with each other is similar to the old way. The current head of the Sonozaki family, Oryo, essentially decides all of the goings-on in the village by herself. May I have a reaction to this as well, or do I need to get it cleared with you as well?
Go ahead.
The fruiters aren't doing as much. Yeah, I mean, there's one left.
Well, they just take care of the whole praying part and stuff, I guess. The whole ritual aspect.
A late night phone call.
Excuse me for the late call. I'm Kimiyoshi. Is this the head of the household? Yes. No, not at all. Thank you very much for that. Yes, well, you see, I do apologize for calling at this hour, but I was wondering if our old man was visiting you at the moment? You've got that right, yes. Once again, I'm very sorry for calling so late. Goodbye. Click. So, no good? I'm not sure what to do. He may be passionate about it, but he always at least gives us a call. You called everyone he plays Go with, didn't you? Bring. Hello, this is Kimiyoshi. Okay, so someone did go missing.
The Kimiyoshi person is gone.
But is this something we should know, or someone we should know? This is Sonozaki.
I guess they're being established now.
How did it go? Have you found the mayor? The mayor went missing. Also, wait, the mayor plays Go with, I'm guessing, Keiichi's father then.
I don't know, probably while they're looking at tentacle hentai together, yeah.
Yeah, but that establishes a connection, which I think might be important to remember.
Yeah.
Oh, Mion-chan. I called everyone I could think of, but I came up with nothing. We can't find him. What do I do? Where could he be idling about? I put a word in with a bunch of people who might have had an idea, but nobody did. I asked Nana about it, and she said we should get the men of the village together to search for him. At this hour? I mean, it's not like he's definitely gone missing. Watanagashi just happened. She thinks we should be a little more cautious. If we still can't find him, then we'll notify the police tomorrow morning.
Kimiyoshi then must mean the mayor. Yeah. Which we just read about.
Whether or not we find him, though, we should refrain from making any false accusation.
Do the whole thing again. There are no accusations, maybe in comparisons, but...
Whether or not we find him, though, we should refrain from making any false accusations.
It's fine, Mion is tired too.
Yeah. Also, I don't think it's Oreo. Or you? No,
I think it's...
Seems too literal.
Oreo, because... Not Oreo the cookie, but...
I'll stick with
Also, don't think it's or you.
Yeah, I said it and I'm like, oh wait, that's a bit too literal.
Or you had a sister, and her.
Also, I'll stick with Oreo. Oreo-san said that? Yes, if you can't trust her without hearing her voice, then I can put her on for you. No, that's fine, I understand. We'll get the men together and search. If we still can't find him, then we will notify the police in the morning. She'll leave it to you to organize the men. I'll be there as well as Nana's representative. Thank you. I'll get everyone together immediately. Thanks, I'll talk to you later.
It is pronounced similar to Oreo. Okay.
We'll take it.
We accidentally succeeded the mission.
Okay, so the mayor went missing, but he's also the head of a pretty big family. So
no,
what did he do?
The least family.
Doesn't matter, it's still a big family.
No, it's not though. That was the point of reading that story. They used to be the big brass. Why is there a hair stuck to it?
But for the village or for the city, it's one of the big families, which means the mayor, which is the head, now went missing.
Yes.
So that's one.
Could it be a complete takeover by the Sonozaki Yakuza clan? I wouldn't be too shocked.
It could, but this tip, if it is as it is and they really don't know anything about it, does imply that none of them pick the victim.
The question is, who picks the victims? Or do they do it like in The Purge, or similar to The Purge, where they just go, you are the chosen one, and you get to kill whomever you want. Please don't make it be me.
Yeah,
and now break time. Yes, I'm sorry.
Like, I do wonder who picks it, and I think that is something that we will need to find out. I mean, even if Oyashiro-sama goes, this dude, who then does this dude?
I do not know. How many weeks? Just one.
Just one, unfortunately.
Yes. And then we'll be here all of the rest of July and all of August. And then the next vacation won't be until the beginning of September.
Yeah. Having a look at the calendar, we will come back home on the 7th, so which means our first stream again will be on the 9th of July, which is a Tuesday.
Unfortunately, you hate us that much? No, but I enjoy vacations that much, and
sure.
the not having to do my day job, because vacations are nice.
I could have a longer vacation and still stream because we're only in the Netherlands for a week.
Exactly. So the vacation being off doesn't actually have anything to do with all of that. We're just going somewhere this time.
But yeah, Tuesday, the 9th of July will be...
That's the plan.
Our next stream. Are we not your vacation?
You are for me. Yes, what are your feelings on this?
I mean, I can't say yes right now because obviously we're leaving for this one. You guys are our peace of mind. Like the calm after work. Does that make sense?
And because we're not working next week, we don't earn the right to that? The more we talk about this, the worse it gets. I should not have grabbed the shovel that Tifa had successfully put next to the grave she was digging.
No, next week we actually have some stuff we need to take care of. Love, which is my grandmother's 80th birthday, which we're going over to celebrate.
We're so disposable. No, you're not.
No,
Don't
that's
let anybody
not true.
tell you that. But we have an 80th birthday to celebrate. That's very true.
Which is the main reason. I mean, we usually go to the Netherlands every time, but this is the main reason why we're going now. Because we actually had our vacation planned.
For a week after that.
After or before? Wasn't it last week
After.
that we had it planned?
No.
Oh.
After. For us. You can call yourself whatever you want. I know that I don't feel that way.
I might have some good news for you guys since vacations are a thing.
What?
That I might have 2 weeks less vacation this year. Because I don't think we're gonna get those.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
2 weeks at the end of the year. Because I have the end of my current project planned in that time, which means I don't think I'll get it off, and to kick off the next one around the same time. So there's no way I'll get the days.
Did I agree that your new position should interfere with my vacation plans? You mean 2 weeks more vacation?
Well, we still have a few weeks planned this year.
4 to be exact. 2 in September and 2 in December. But the 2 in December might not happen.
Well, the 2...
Because of Tifa.
No, we also have 1 week in between still, I think.
No, we don't.
No?
I mean, you might if you go on a vacation without me, but I haven't. And I know my plan very well.
I thought we also had one end of October.
No.
Well, doesn't matter. We still have vacation planned, but maybe less than we thought.
But every time we tell you, you tell us that we only take vacations because we hate you, which is not true. But we work day jobs and we need vacations from those too.
I take this many vacations because I need them.
Yeah. Well, I do because I want to and because I can, you know. I'm blessed that way.
But yeah, a
I'm
little
sweating
break.
Just
and besides, now you can focus all your time on Dantru.
Exactly. All of you playing, you now have 9 days, no, 10 and a half days to finish all of Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail, which just released for pre-orders. There you go.
We'll use the time wisely. I have no doubt.
Please.
You have a 2-week vacation now too, no, Psycho?
Oh, true. Didn't you take the time off for Dawn Trail?
Or did you...
I might actually do it in 9 days. If it's fun, do it.
Then
yes,
you enjoy your vacation as well.
Please do. Now, Evie, where's the hate for Psycho for having vacations? I'm just trying to deflect the blame so that it doesn't all land on me. I'm sorry. I don't actually want for people to get mad at you, Psycho.
Everyone should get a permanent vacation.
That would be nice. It's not having vacation. I'm sorry. It's for abandoning me. We're not doing it to abandon anybody. Does it help if I tell you that you can relive all of this, because with our YouTube upload schedule, we'll be back exactly when this part should be out again. So if you want, you can relive this moment again, just before we're back.
And we'll still be on Discord.
Yeah, we're not gone, we're just not streaming. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we also don't really have a plan yet for when we're back, so I guess we can also spend
Yes, the 9th.
No, I mean a plan for what to play when we're back. We have some games that we were talking about.
This is true.
So
I
now
still
we have like a week.
Haven't gotten around to do like a little playtest thing with Tifa for Phantom Hourglass, but I've already made the thumbnails, so it's bound to happen at some point. It has to. I wouldn't make thumbnails for nothing. And
don't count on that when
I want to say it turned out pretty cool, so the sooner people would get the chance to see them, the sooner they can praise me for my artistic genius.
Well, we still need a game for before that.
Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah, before the Fountain.
That? Do you mean before that?
Well, we have nothing where we set up Phantom Hourglass, so we still need to play something else first.
Take the laptop along, innit? It's a computer.
What can it take? I'm planning on taking my work laptop along. Can you use that?
No, you're disgusting. Why would you take work along on a vacation? I hate you.
Because I'm not done working yet.
Can you tell that her new position has changed her? Who even are you anymore? Like,
I can borrow it to you. It's okay.
But no, I will not be installing anything on your work computer. We can just take this one on.
Well, we're going by car anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, it does. I will put everything into the place where you usually sit so that you don't sit comfortably. That will be... This will be my revenge that I take on your behalf, Evie. When Tifa will be uncomfortable the entire ride there and the entire ride back. And I hope that will quell your anger slightly.
That's what employed life does to people.
Not to me. Not to me. For the longest time earlier in my work life, I had such a hard time letting go of work when it was time for vacations. Thankfully, I've overcome that. And now I'm like, I earned a vacation. I'm taking a vacation. If it doesn't get done, like I have people that take over things for me, and whatever doesn't get done will just get done when I'm back. The world doesn't stop turning just because I'm not there. And it's the same when other people go on vacation. So
I want to say in the past few years I've gotten really good at that.
Which is why now you've completely relapsed into your workaholic attitude.
Yeah, but now I have a different job, like it kind of resets.
I'm gonna reset you.
It will get better next year.
Yeah, I hope so.
I would think so. Anyway, that's not the point. We'll be back on Tuesday, the 9th, after a short break. And I have no more.
We do not know yet what, as Tifa was attempting to say.
We're gonna argue about that.
Something
probably every
like
day
that.
next week for, I want to say 5 minutes. And you're gonna come with that when we're walking outside.
I will complain and bicker to you every single day. Have you decided a game yet?
Yeah.
I will. Have a nice vacation. Thank you very much. That
you
is
as well.
The plan. All the same to you. I hope no server congestions, no DDoS attacks on the game anymore. That was annoying. still is if people do it, so pointless. All the nice things. All the nice things. And I hope that... Yeah, no, just that.
And for those that don't play, obviously, all the nice things too.
Yes, all of that. All of that. While I will now try to peel the shirt off of my body because...
Like a grape.
I am not a grape, Tifa.
With that, I'll press the button.
Please do. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us and witnessing more of Higurashi. We'll be back when Tifa said we would. We'll keep you updated. We'll see you then. Bye!
Bye!
Thank you.